Attention, NFC East teams and fans. The Philadelphia Eagles are back. This is a warning. If you or someone you love is a fan of the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, or the Washington football team, you may be in big trouble. You may have thought the Eagles weren't going to be in the playoff mix at the start of the year, but you were mistaken. They're back, big time, and capable of the following: running the ball, throwing the ball, stopping the run, winning the game, winning the division, going to the Super Bowl, hurting your feelings. Eagles fans being as obnoxious as ever. If any of these worry you, please call 1-359-324-5359. That's one Fly Eagle Fly. This has been a Fox NFL Emergency Alert.
I don't know about you, but I had a lot of feelings after this game about this team. The way you dominate the Giants. Listen, there's a lot of people that I see on Twitter. Let me start by saying this. The Giants are a horrible franchise. I told Giant fans all this offseason to let Saquon Barkley go will kill your franchise. And y'all didn't want to listen to me. Oh, Daniel Jones is so worth it. Saquon's washed. All that garbage, nonsense, baloney. And then what happens? Hold up. What did he do again? I got the stats right here. Saquon Barkley goes out there and not only he puts belt to ass on the Giants, I think he had the all-time record in Eagles running back history. Let me double check. Saquon Barkley goes out and almost should have at least had 200 yards. But he was a guy that just didn't care about his stats. He just wanted to win. Pretty much what I'm saying is, y'all fucked up. Yeah, you did. The Giants fucked up. The Giant fans were laughing at us, talking about that he's washed. Was he washed yesterday? Was he washed yesterday? Did he look washed yesterday? Did he look injury prone yesterday when he ran through that fucking so-called elite defense? Did he look washed? Was it worth the Giant fans? I just want to know. Was it worth trolling Eagle fans? Was it worth trolling Saquon Barkley? Was it worth burning his jersey? What a beatdown, man. Hold up, man. Before we get to the video, just for the Giant fans, man. Put the belt on their ass, man. Woo! How about that one? Now, listen, I'm not going to get too cocky. I'm not going to say we're all the way back. Because, like I said, we got to do this again. I want to see that versus the Bengals. I want to see that versus every other team this year. This is how I wanted to see my team play. But the way you go out and you show that things are proven is you play a team like the Giants and you whoop on them. We gave them no mercy. Now, the first half got to get cleaned up. We got to start fast. I get all that. And eventually, hopefully, they will start making improvements, and hopefully we'll get that down. But the way you go out there and bully that team, okay? You bullied that team. You flat out pantsed them. You put the belt on the ass. Like I said, man, the belt was belt buckle, man. Belt buckle. Belt buckle. You hear that sound? That was the ass being belt buckled with the belt, man. Defense put the belt on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones looked lost yesterday, man. I wonder if the Giants regret paying Saquon Barkley now. Do they regret paying Saquon? I bet they do now. I want to thank the Giant fans because all offseason I heard was he was washed, he was injury prone. Did he look washed and injury prone yesterday? When he had almost, 130 yards on y'all? What did he have again? Hold on. Let me check the stats again. I'm pretty sure. Oh, by the way, this is my wallpaper. Why not? Why not? This is what we did to your boy Daniel Jones. You know, the guy that was supposed to be better than Jalen Hurts? Yeah, okay. All right. Going to this game, I had no nervous at all. I wasn't nervous at all. I had no nerves going to this game. You want to know why? Because I knew who they were. The Giants were trash. I knew they were trash, and I knew the Eagles were going to beat up on them. I didn't think we were going to beat them up on like that, but if we were going to win this game, I knew it was going to be a beatdown, but I didn't think it was going to be 29-3. I didn't think it was going to be that. I didn't think it was going to be that. WIP posted the Philadelphia Eagles NFL ranked defense after 6 games. 6.6 completions allowed. That's 6 in the league. 19.2 points / games allowed. The 7th. 19.0 total sacks. The 7th. Ranked the 7th. 304.3 total yards / games allowed. The 9th. 189.2 passing yards / games allowed. The 9th. 105.2 rushing yards / games allowed. The 15th. 2 takeaways in the 32nd overall. This is under Fangio. Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter and Jacoby Dean combined today. 7 tackles. This was yesterday's game, by the way. 7 quarterback hits. 5 sacks. And 6 TFL, which stands for pretty much rushing the quarterback, is what I'm guessing. Any way you look at it, okay, the Giants messed up. Giant fans are in their feelings right now today. They're pretty much devastated. You went into their building, you whoop on them. Like I said, the belt. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Like how many times we got to beat down on y'all, man? How many times do we got to put the belt on y'all, man? You know what I'm saying? The belt was on ass yesterday, man. You know what I'm saying? The belt was on ass. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, man. I watched the defense play good yesterday. Jacoby Dean looked like a legit star yesterday. Nolan Smith was after it. Bryce Huff had a sack. Okay? I don't care if it's the damn Giants. I don't care if it's the Panthers. All I hear, well, it's the Giants. Y'all weren't saying that. Well, if it was the Kansas City Chiefs, you wouldn't be saying that. So I don't want to hear that. The bottom line is the Philadelphia Eagles beat on an opponent and they dominated. I don't care if it's the Giants. I don't care if it's the Bengals. I don't care if it's the Panthers. I don't care if it's the Cowboys. This is the first time that I saw a complete game from this team. Now, we got to start in the first quarter. We still got a lot of things to work on. But the fact that you dominate an opponent, you didn't give them mercy, because we love to give teams a chance to come back. We didn't even do that. We didn't give Daniel Jones and that offense no breathing room. Now, I want to see what they do, because I do think that Joe Burrow is a way better quarterback than Daniel Jones. And listen, the Bengals, they got a lot of better. They got good receivers over there, and they're a way better team than the Giants. You can talk about the record all you want. This is going to be a test for the Eagles. Can they do it again? Defense, allowed only 3 points for the Giants. 3. Okay? Your defense was terrorizing Daniel Jones to the point where he was seeing ghosts out there. He looked like Sam Darnold versus the damn Jets. I'm sorry, Sam Darnold with the Jets and the Panthers. The way they made Daniel Jones uncomfortable, that's what you got to do. That was a very good game plan by Fangio. I love what Kellen Moore did in the second half. Getting Jalen Hurts comfortable, giving him some good reads so he can throw the ball. I wish they would run it. Listen, this team should be able to run the football. There's nothing wrong with Jalen Hurts being a game manager. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Because game manager doesn't mean you're bad. But if Jalen Hurts has to be a game manager, so be it. I'd rather him be a game manager than a turnover machine. I'd rather him be a game manager and win me a Super Bowl than him being a elite talent and not getting there, right? Because at the end of the day, you cannot always be a Patrick Mahomes. There's only one Patrick Mahomes in this league, okay? So everybody thinking, I see a lot of people on Twitter, well, he missed this throw. Did you look at the fact that he had pressure in his face? We got to look at context. We can't keep on saying, well, and listen, I'm very critical with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, we see up and downs with him where he's like, dude, you got to get that through. Like that Barkley where he missed it. Come on. Got to throw that ball right there. But the Devontae Smith throw, if you watch that play again, he had pressure in his face. That read that he did where he didn't throw it to Devontae. If he threw it to Devontae, does that get picked maybe? I don't know. It might have. You don't know what that quarterback was looking at. At the end of the day, do I think Jalen Hurts had a good game? Well, he didn't turn over the ball. He didn't turn over the ball. Did he have a great MVP game? No. But was he a factor of why we won this game? Yes. Was he the reason why we were losing this game? No. Did he turn over the ball at all? Did he fumble? No. So, there's a lot of people who are going to nitpick every little thing he does. And I would just say, check your posts. All right? Check yourself, okay? We can be critical if this team goes out there and they stink it up, okay? And I've been critical with this team. I've been saying this team looked like 2023. Now, I'm not going to jump off the bridge and say, oh, this team is back and we're going to the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is the way you went out and you beat the Giants and you single-handedly put the belt on ass on them, belt buckle to ass on them. You flat out went in their home and you terrorized them. It's like an invader going to someone's home and physically terrorizing them. And that's what we did to them. We bullied the Giants. We pantsed them. They look like little kids they look like little nerds that you shoved in the locker in high school. They got bullied. They got jumped. They got stomped out, beat up. They got their lunch money taken, phone taken, books being thrown around. We laughed at them. They couldn't fight back. They look like a lost cause. And that's what you do to a team that you know you're better than. This wasn't, the Eagles go out and they just barely, no, they embarrassed them to the point where Giant fans are wondering, do we need a tank again? You got the Giant fans. I was watching some of them today, and they're devastated because they didn't see this coming. When we know that Saquon Barkley, I knew was going to get a revenge game. I saw the way he looked, and it meant business to him. Saquon Barkley wanted to show the Giants one more time that you fucked up. You want to pay who? Daniel Jones? How did that work out for y'all? How did that work out for y'all? $140 million quarterback. Can't even pass the ball for real. The man is trash. Garbage. I told Chris, what's his name? I told the Giant fans that were in my chat, y'all gonna miss Saquon Barkley. Your offense ain't gonna look the same without him. Oh, no. We don't need Saquon. We got Daniel. Yeah, Daniel who? He didn't look like Daniel Dimes yesterday. He looked like Daniel Trash Bags yesterday. Garbage. He stunk. He's a bum. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the division. Daniel Trash Bags is his name. I told y'all you were going to miss something without Saquon Barkley. Y'all said you didn't need him. No, we don't need him. We don't need Saquon. We got Singletary who? Where was he at? I'll wait. Did you really think you had a chance against us? Is that what y'all thought? Giant fans, did you really think that it was going to be a competitive game? Make me laugh. Like I said, man, come on, bro. Belt buckled ass, man. Don't make me do this to y'all. Look, this is what we do to y'all, man. Come on, man. Come on. This is what we do to y'all. Y'all bums. In every game, we treat y'all like bums every single time. It don't matter we have Mark Sanchez. It don't matter we have Sam Bradford. It don't matter we Nick Foles. We own your franchise. Thank you for Saquon. Thank you. Malik Neighbors wants out soon. He gonna want out soon. And you keep messing with him. He gonna want out soon too. I told Giant fans, y'all reality was coming quickly. I said you weren't going to make the playoffs. Y'all laughed at me. Oh, elite defense going to shut down who? Where's that elite defense at? Because I didn't see that yesterday. Your Giant fans talk about they shut down Saquon. Where? You shut him down one play and then he went off on y'all. Stop it. Zesty Dexy, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, he's good. But he's one player. Brian Burns, great player. Belt buckled ass still, man. It don't matter who you got. And I'll tell you like this, man. All you Washington fans, we're going to remind y'all, too, who you are. Because I don't know who the hell y'all think you are now. Y'all run around here like you're going. Go where? You about to get an ass whooping, too. We about to whoop your ass, too. Because we own y'all, too. Washington fans forgot who they were. We're going to remind y'all soon. After we take care of Dallas. Yeah, I'm on that time. Jaden Daniels, he going to be running for his life. You better hope he learns how to slide. You better learn how to learn. Because I'm telling you right now, that defense going to pound on him. Big time. Got Louis T over there. Talk about the Commanders. Commanders what? You don't even have a name. You don't own nothing. You haven't won a division since Chase Young's been a rookie. Y'all don't frighten us. You must forgot who you were. We're the same team that swept y'all last year and put y'all in the basement. That's why you got Jaden Daniels. I ain't scared of Washington. Y'all are just chumps like the Giants, man. And we going to treat y'all like one when we play y'all. This division, like I said, if we do our job, it goes to Philadelphia. Okay? The problem is, can we continue to do what we did? If we go out there and we blow out Cincinnati, you better be really, 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 really scared that your quarterbacks better have good protection. That defense that I saw yesterday, is looking like they're coming together. Okay. Nakobe Dean is stepping up. It's huge. Huge. Quinyon Mitchell. Come on, man. That's why you go and draft them out of Toledo. The best cornerback. Don't tell me about no Terrion Arnold. The best cornerback in the draft was Quinyon Mitchell. It's not even close. I like Terrion Arnold, but Quinyon Mitchell is 10 times better than him. Slay had a good game. Broke up some good passes. This defense, listen, man, they're scary right now. Now, could it be just the fact that we played the Giants? Maybe. And we're about to find out real quick. Because I'll tell you one thing, Joe Burrow's a lot better quarterback than Daniel Jones, and that's for damn sure. I'm not going to sleep on the Bengals. I don't care about their record. Because guess what? We lost teams that we shouldn't beat. The Falcons. So I'm not going to sleep on the Bengals. I'm not going to say we're going to blow them out. No. I think it's going to be a fight in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is playing for a chance to stay alive. And they'll be damned if they let the Eagles come in their building and do what they did to the Giants like to them. It's not going to happen. Now, we got to continue running the ball with Saquon. That's the goal. That's our identity right there. It's not throwing the ball, okay? There's a lot of people say, well, why didn't Devontae get the ball? Listen, man, you're not going to feed everybody, okay? Everybody's going to get the hot hand. Whoever has the hot hand gets the ball, okay? All right? I expect Devontae Smith to eat in this game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. But I'm going to tell you right now, Cincinnati's bad against the run. This should be a Saquon Barkley type game right here this week. Feed him. Feed Legatron, man. Feed him. Feed him. Legatron should have over 200 yards. Now, you saw a clip of Saquon Barkley that's going around that said, and I love about Saquon Barkley, he's selfless. He don't care about his stats. He cares about one thing, winning. The fact that the Giants decided to pay Daniel Jones over him, like I said in the offseason, that GM is getting fired. If you don't think that GM is going to get fired after the Hard Knocks clips came out and now they look this bad, oh, Joe Schoen is out of here. That's another thing I'm going to be right about. I said Brian DeBall and Joe Schoen will be fired. It looks like I'm going to be right. Because when you let it go, a guy like that, you better know what you're doing. And Joe Schoen has made some horrible moves. Getting Brian Burns means nothing if you can't run the fucking ball. You can have the greatest defense in the world. If you can't run the ball, it means nothing. And the Giants, what did they do in the draft? They didn't draft no offensive line. They signed a bunch of free agent offensive linemen. How's that working out for them? It means nothing. Because when we came to put that to the test, the defense flat out dominated. Now, you could talk about, well, Thomas was hurt. Well, so was Mailata. Okay, so I don't want to hear about injuries because we had injuries too. Jordan Mailata was out. Okay, he wasn't playing. Becton was out. Okay, you had a lot of guys that were banged up. So I don't want to hear about injuries. Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles had pressure in Daniel Jones' face all game long. It was like a swarm of wasp nest. Swarm of wasp attacking one guy that he couldn't get away. It was like a hornet nest being on display in front of the world. The way we just attacked was evil. It was evil, and I loved every minute of it. We put Daniel Jones on his ass to the point where he had butt stains from the ground. How many times he was on that ground? He had dirt stains, butt stains, everything like that. His jersey was covered in dirt stains. Okay, he needed to go home and put his jersey in the laundry. In the washer, and put some Tide on his jersey to make sure he got all them grass stains off his jersey. Because the way we put him on his ass, that defense wasn't playing no games. This was personal. This wasn't just a regular game. No, this was, thank you for Saquon Barkley, because we're whooping your ass today. They all played for Saquon Barkley. That was what AJ and all these guys were saying on that field. We're playing for one guy. 26. The culture is being built. And, I saw a better response from the team afterwards. Nick Sirianni's speech, I give him a lot of shit. But that speech, a lot of guys were hyped afterwards. And I'm glad, because honestly, I don't want to fire a coach. You think I want to go get another coach? Because if you get another coach, what's probably going to happen? He wants to bring his own players. We got to get new offense going. I don't want to do that. Okay? Nick Sirianni, I thought had a good game. There were some things that I wish he would stop doing. Like, I don't know, run the ball in the beginning. We love passing. I don't know why. But overall, I can't complain. I thought the defense and then the offense came along when they had to. Was it pretty? No. Not every game's going to be pretty. I know that. But you dominate a team that you were supposed to dominate. Am I going to say this team is back? No, because I got to see it consistently. Because just because you go out and dominate the Giants, we'll do that to the Bengals now. Now we're going to see if that was really a fluke again. Or was it just the Giants being trash? Was it the Giants being trash, or was it just the Eagles are getting better? You got to test this Sunday. Now, it was supposed to be 4-20. That was the game for the Bengals. They flexed it to 1. Just like today, they flexed the Jacksonville Jaguars. Originally was 8-15. Now they flexed it to 4. I don't care if it's 4, 8-15 or not. It's a game at the end of the day. And we better go out there and perform. Okay? But when I look at this NFC team, I'm not scared of nobody. Washington did not scare me. Yeah, they go out and blow the Panthers. Congratulations. Everybody's blowing out the Panthers. Okay? They stink. They're garbage. They're tanking. Trust me. Don't let the Commander fans fool y'all. They're not that special. Jane Daniels don't scare me. You trap him in the pocket and you make him throw that ball, then I'll see if he's that good. Okay? But they have to get him out that pocket. We're going to talk about that down later. We'll focus on when the time comes. Okay? Watch what I say. The Commanders will start crumbling soon. When we play them, they will look like a total different team. They're hot right now because they're playing easy teams. Wait until they start playing the hard teams like we're playing, like we played. And we're going to be playing them too. We got the Baltimore Ravens, the Bengals. We're going to be playing them too. But they have not gone through adversity yet. They have not gone through adversity yet. And Commander fans better learn real quick that they still got a rookie quarterback. I'm not impressed with the Commanders. Y'all don't impress me. The Philadelphia Eagles are pretty much the only team that really dominated the damn Giants. And the way they did it, they ran the ball down the throats. Saquon Barkley was phenomenal. Like I said, Legatron, you let him out the building for Daniel fucking Trash Bags. Daniel Trash Bags stinks. Sorry. Pathetic. So much for Malik Neighbors. Y'all swore down he need weapons. No, he sucks. Malik Neighbors don't mean shit when you can't throw the ball. Daniel Jones is awful. I want Giant fans to apologize to Eagle fans for opening their fucking mouth and saying that Daniel Jones would come to Philadelphia and do the same thing that he would do with Jalen. Stop the cat, man. What's the excuse now? Because he had Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors on another damn team would be a top 2 receiver in the league. He just has a horrible quarterback. If you put Malik Neighbors with Jalen Hurts right now, Jalen Hurts will make him just like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Daniel Jones is garbage. He's overrated. Well, he's not even overrated. He's just fucking garbage. Congratulations. You overpaid for a scrub, a third stringer that got benched. They benched him. Saquon tears it up, and they benched their quarterback. Giant fans don't want to hear it because it's not the truth that they want to hear. They want to hear, oh, Daniel Jones. Man, stop it. Daniel Jones is ass. He's ass. When I mean ass, I mean ass. Okay? Like ass. That's how bad he is. Okay? I thought the defense played phenomenal. Like I said, Quinyon Mitchell's a monster. You got a star corner in your league. I mean, in your lineup, man. And, you know, Cooper Dijon, you add him. It's beautiful, man. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. What's up, dude? How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Eagles beat the brakes off the Giants, sent them home with L. Saquon Barkley revenge. Absolutely. Listen, Saquon Barkley terrorized the Giants. And that's why I was saying to Giant fans is you can't tell me that y'all don't miss this guy. You know, I hear a lot of contractors say, well, Saquon wouldn't have done nothing for us. Really? I don't think that's true. Because Saquon Barkley's been carrying your franchise for a long ass time. Let's remember, since the day you drafted him, he's been your only weapon. And listen, when we played the Giants, I hated playing against Saquon Barkley. Because every time we played him, here comes Saquon. Oh man. Oh boy. I got to tense up. Because I don't know if he's going to break through. You got to stack the box with him. And just imagine, I think your Giant fans said this too, and I agree. You had him with Malik Neighbors. You got to pay attention to those two guys. It's going to be hard. They didn't build around him. And they want him to be loyal to them. Well, loyalty don't come at all in the NFL. It's a business at the end of the day. And why would I be loyal to a franchise that rather paid Daniel Jones over me? And Giant fans want to say, well, we offered him a deal. But that's still a shot in the face when you know he was the better player. Imagine you're working and the guy gets credit for your work, even though he didn't deserve it. And that's what they did with Daniel Jones. They gave him the contract when he didn't do shit. He didn't win that playoff game versus the Vikings. Saquon Barkley did. Nobody's worried about no Daniel Jones when they're playing the Giants. They were worried about how to shut down 26. Because if you let him dominate a football game, it's over with. Not only you got to worry about Saquon with the Eagles, now you got to worry about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. You got to pick your poison. And I'll say this, if this offense can get it going, look out. Look out. This offense is scary if they figure it out. And with this defense, the way they're playing, look out. It's going to get ugly. Big time for y'all. Whoever versing us. And that's the truth. Saquon Barkley has more rushing yards than the whole Giants team combined. Saquon Barkley rushing yards 176, New York Giants total yards 119. Yeah, I mean, the fact that you let this guy go, for what? Joe Shane should be ashamed of himself for doing that. And the fact that John Mara knew that shit was going to come, John Mara should fire Joe Shane today. If I was John Mara, I would fire Joe Shane tonight. Matter of fact, I would fire him yesterday in the middle of the game. All right, you're fired. You didn't want to pay Saquon. He's going off. You're fired. Bye. I would fire him in the middle of the game. Breaking news, the Giants fired Joe Shane in the middle of the halftime. That's what I would have done. If I was if I was John Mara, I would have fired Joe Shane after the game or in the middle of the game. He would have been out of here. Because that's a bold move to make. Saquon Barkley, when they talk about, well, he's just a running back. No, he's not just a running back. He's a running back that can do it all. He can carry a franchise. If we don't have Saquon Barkley, are we the way we are right now? I don't think so. Saquon Barkley is doing what Christian McCaffrey did for the 49ers. When you got a dynamic player like a Saquon Barkley on your team that can carry the load for your franchise and help your quarterback tremendously out, not only does it help your quarterback, it helps A.J. Brown out, it helps Devontae Smith out, it helps the offense out because now you're not the only guy that's getting the looks. Defense have to worry about Saquon, and they got to worry about A.J. It's confusing. And now they got to worry about, oh my God, how do we stop this team? If you're game playing versus the Eagles, how do you stop this offense? If they finally figured out how do you stop in this offense? You can't. You physically cannot unless you try to take them and put them on the field. You take them off the field. That's the only way you stop that offense. If you make sure that defense is out, the Eagles defense is out 24/7, and you tire them out. Like we did to the Giants. But difference is they couldn't run the ball. Their running game is horrendous. Saquon Barkley made sure it was personal versus the Giants. He talked about it's a business. He's going to say that because he's professional. But it was personal. Just like it was personal with A.J. Brown when they traded him to the Eagles because the Titans did not want to pay for it. A.J. Brown said, it's just another game. It wasn't another game. It was personal. Deshaun Jackson, when he came back to Philadelphia as a commander, at the time Redskin, it was personal. You didn't want to pay me? I'm going to show you. I'm going to shut you up. I'm going to make you have nightmares. When you go to sleep, you're going to remember that you could have paid me. But you want to pay that dude? You want to pay Daniel Jones? A bum? A guy that has what? A playoff game because of me? Okay. Now watch this. Bam. I'm going to run through your defense. How does it feel now? Does it feel good? Saquon Barkley gave John Mara and Joe Shane a reminder. Well, Joe Shane, a reminder. You're fired. You're done. I cost you your job. It's over with. Joe Shane will not have a job next year. If I was John Mara, like I said after the game, I would have fired him. The Titans did not waste any time after A.J. Brown cooked the Titans. And they fired the GM. Joe Shane will not be the GM next year for the Giants. I'm telling you right now, he won't be. John Mara is probably livid right now. And rightfully so, because he said, listen, I would have nightmares if he goes to Philadelphia. What happens? He goes to Philadelphia and he puts 176 yards on him? He almost had 200 yards on him. He should have had 200 yards. Well, he didn't want that. You decide to pay Daniel Jones go and trade for Darren Waller. You decide to pay Brian Burns over your playmaker. That's selfish. That's inhumane. That's so disturbing to your franchise. Not only you hurt your quarterback that you're supposed to want to build around, because what's the quarterback's best friend? It's a running game. Saquon Barkley is a very much of a guy that would help a quarterback like Daniel Jones a lot. And you didn't even help him out. You gave him nothing but a third string running back, and you expect him to do what? Did you think he was Patrick Mahomes? Like, come on. You know, it's crazy. But I appreciate them for giving us Saquon. We're going to trash them with Saquon for the next few years. Saquon will retire as an Eagle, and he will be with the Eagles for as long as we can. You know what I'm saying? I think the Eagles will extend Saquon Barkley even when his contract's up, and we will make sure he be an Eagle just like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You know what I'm saying? That guy's a monster, man. I always loved the I always dreamed, even when I was playing Madden, that Saquon Barkley Eagles jersey will come true. And it did. I had videos where I said we should draft Saquon. I thought Saquon was going to be so good. And I said, what if we put Saquon on the Eagles? How good will you be? Now you see. I'm so glad we got this guy. Jalen is way better than Daniel. Absolutely, he's way better than Daniel. Daniel Jones is fucking trash. Okay? East won. The final score was 28-3. I appreciate it. Sorry, not 29-3. 28-3. My fault. Eagles defense had a dominant game. 8 sacks. Yeah, 8 sacks. Nolan Smith had a sack. Bryce Huff had a sack. N'Kobe Dean had 2. Jalen Carter had 2. Your whole defense got through. Jalen Hunt had a strip sack. I need this guy to have more playing time. Right? You drafted him in the 3rd round. Why is he not on the field too much? I think he's ready. Let's get him on the field. Right? Rotate him in. Let's do it. Rotate these guys in. Let's let them eat. You only help your defense that way. Let's get Jalen Hunt going. Right? I think he had enough time sitting back, learning dude, he had a strip sack. Imagine what he could do if he got some more reps. If that guy's disruptive the way he is right now, imagine if he gets comfortable in that defense. Scary. Okay? We talk about the trade deadline, right? And let me ask y'all this one. Would you give up your picks to go out and get a guy like Myles Garrett? I would not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm not trading our future for Myles Garrett. I like Myles Garrett. But I want the young guys to get their chance. Okay? Myles Garrett's a very good player. I like Myles Garrett. But I'm sorry. You know, there's a lot of people on Twitter say, I would trade my whole franchise for Myles Garrett. No, I would not do that. Because next year you're going to need a left tackle. You're going to need a lot more pieces on your defense, right? You don't want to trade a farm for one guy, okay? A guy that's 28 years old, right? Those picks that you might think are not value now, we've seen what they can do. Jalen Carter, N'Kobe Dean, Jalen Hunt, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Those are the picks that you want to get rid of for one guy. I'm not doing that, right? Now, if the price is a little bit low, then I'll do it. But if the Browns, let's say, ask for 2 first-round picks, buy. Not doing it. I like Myles Garrett. But someone else can take him if that's the case. Because you need to realize this. Lane Johnson's not getting younger. You're going to need a left tackle in the next 4 to 5 years. Okay? Probably next year, you'll probably draft a left tackle. Okay? Now, you're also going to need another corner, right? Because, yes, you got Mitchell. You got Cooper DeJean, who I think will replace Maddox. You know what I'm saying? Is Ringo the answer? I don't know. I'd rather go get Denzel Ward than get Myles Garrett. I'm going to tell you why. You know, everybody said, well, I wouldn't get Denzel Ward. I would. You had Denzel Ward with Quinyon Mitchell. Let's say Slay leaves next year. Who do you have? And what corners in the draft are you going to get that's any better than Denzel Ward or Greg Newsome? I honestly would make a move to go and get a guy like Greg Newsome. If it means giving up a first rounder, those would be the guys I would give up for because they're still young. Greg Newsome is only 24 years old. If Denzel Ward becomes available, I'm pulling the trigger. Now, you could say, well, we need defense. Do we really? Do we really? Or do we have the guys and we just don't want to use them? Would you trade the farm for Crosby? For the right price, I might. But I'm not going overboard for one guy. You need to look at the future this year and the few down the road. Yes, are we trying to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely. But if I go for one guy, it's going to be a piece that I can build for a long time. Not for just a short answer, okay? That's how you end up like the 49ers, okay? They go out and they sacrifice one piece to go to the Super Bowl, and what happens after that? Or like the Rams. They go out and trade for Jalen Ramsey, right? Who I wanted at the time. But when you look at it now, they had to wait for a long time to get a pick, okay? I don't want to be in that situation. I think Howard Roseman, if they'd make a move, it's going to be a guy like a Von Miller. A low cost, not high risk reward. I'm not going to say Myles Garrett because more likely that's not going to happen. We need to stop trying to get excited about a player that we might not get. Myles Garrett's going to at least cost 2 first rounders. I'd be shocked if the Browns even move on from him. If the Browns move on from him, they're dumb. All right, let's be right. And the Browns are pretty stupid. But if they move on from Myles Garrett, they're going to get a lot for him. That's for damn sure. Because they're going to have to look at probably drafting a quarterback. Now Deshaun Watson goes down with Achilles. He's not going to be the same. Probably not coming back and being the same quarterback. And they're going to have to look to try to move on from him because the way they're paying him and the way he's not playing well as he should be, yeah, I think the Browns might draft a quarterback soon. And you look at the quarterbacks coming up the following. You got Cam Ward. You got Sanders, Deion Sanders' son. You know what I'm saying? You got Carson Beck. You know, you got a lot of quarterbacks coming in the draft. The Browns are going to get a lot from Myles Garrett if they trade him. If they trade a guy like Newsome, they're going to want a lot. Okay? That's the only guys I would trade for, honestly, because I think when you look at Darius Slay on his last year of his deal, right, he's going to retire after this year. I don't think he's going to come back after this year. I think this is, let me get my Super Bowl and let me get out of my way, right? That's why I think he came back is, let me get my Super Bowl if I can get there. And if I get my Super Bowl, great, I'm retiring. And then I would have Greg Newsome on one side, Cooper DeJean in the slot, and I would have Quinyon Mitchell. That would be a good secondary. Now, would the Browns trade Greg Newsome for no, because I don't see the Eagles trading for a guy like that. But I ain't gonna lie, if the Eagles did pull a move for Greg Newsome or Denzel Ward, I'll be in seventh heaven. You got a Pro Bowl corner and you add him with Quinyon Mitchell? Come on. Now, can I see Keely Ringo be in the future? I don't know. I don't see him as a star corner or corner in this league. All right. I think he's a good backup, but I don't think he's a starter per se. That makes any sense. So, do you remember your last stream in the summer when I told you that the Eagles were going to beat the brakes off the Giants? Yeah, everybody. I said that too. I said we're going to sweep the Giants. We're going to sweep the Giants. That's why I made the bet with Bones. Every division rival is going to sweep the Giants this year. The Cowboys will sweep the Giants, the Eagles will sweep the Giants, and the Commanders will sweep the Giants. It's going to happen. The Giants are garbage. They're a flat-out disgrace of an organization right now. They have no idea what they're doing. They got a horrible GM that made a bonehead decisions. It's not even just a Saquon. It's the fact that you paid him over a Daniel Jones, and you didn't want to bring a guy like Xavier McKinney who would help your defense. They let both of them walk. Okay. Then you go out and get Brian Burns. Well, I mean, For what? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you let two potential stars. One was a captain as your safety, and McKinley's looking good in Green Bay. And Barkley's looking great in Philadelphia. And you just saw it. What he did to the Giants. You know, those are fireable moves right there. Losing a star safety, you better ask the Eagle fans how it felt when they lost CJ. It was tough because this time you're not going to be able to get him back. We were able to get CJ back, thankfully, because he ended up getting hurt in the middle of the season with the Lions. But if he didn't get hurt, he would have got paid. You know what I'm saying? Eagles got to beat them. Cincinnati, I think we'll beat the Bengals, man. Listen, the Bengals are bad against the run. They're bad this year. Okay? But again, I can say what I want. We got to go out there and show it. Can we continue the consistency that we saw this past weekend versus the Giants? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see that struggle where we barely beating teams. This is the expectation I want to see now. If I see that from my defense again, now we're talking, because that's 2 straight weeks. 2 straight weeks. You did this versus the Saints, and you did this versus the Giants. But we always have the tendency of going back to our own ways. Right? We had a great game against the Saints, and then we do the same thing we did before with the Buccaneers, where we didn't learn from our lesson. After we just dominate the Saints game, we go out and we get bullied by the Bucs. I want to see how they respond. Are they going to continue to show that they're getting better? Or are they going to go back to their ways of being ignorant and defiant and spit in their face one more time? Was this just a fluke and the Giants were just trash and we just capitalized off of it? Or was it the Eagles are starting to get better and we better start getting ready down the road for a playoff game and hopefully home field advantage? That's what we're going to find out. You know, the Bengals, I'm not going to say the record is, I don't care what the record is. Who cares what the record is? They're playing just like we're playing. And I'll be damned if I'm going to say the Bengals are going to blow them out. No, because the Bengals are a team that gives us fits. Unfortunately, we have not beaten them in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is a 10 times better quarterback than Daniel Jones. Jamar Chase is a stud. They got some good pieces over there. All right? And when you look at the division, they need that win. They got the Browns, the Steelers. The Steelers looking like a threat over there in the division. So they're going to need that win tremendously. And if that means beating the Eagles, they're going to try to do it. We need to take them like a threat. And we need to go out there and eliminate that threat. We need to get pressure in Joe Burrow's face. We need to shut down Jamar Chase. We need to shut down the running game. We need to run the ball. Because let me tell you, the Bengals, they couldn't stop the run at all versus the Browns. They struggled against the run. Now, I think this game plan, they're going to try to stop Saquon Barkley. Because that's how you stop this Eagles offense, unfortunately. You have to. You have to shut down 26. This should be a Devontae Smith game. This should be a John Doxson game. This should be an A.J. Brown game. I think this is the game where we're going to be throwing the ball. Because I think this is the game where we're going to try to run the ball and they're going to shut that shit down. And we're going to struggle running the ball because they're going to focus on how to stop 26. This should be a game where Jalen Hurts has to be very good with reading the defense. They're going to throw a lot of coverage, mixed plays, signals on Jalen Hurts, and it's going to be up to him. You know, Henderson is a beast. Hexerton, whatever his name is. I'm not really excited for him going against Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson got lit up by Burns. I hope he got better this week because he's going to have a handful. Okay? Now their safety's out, which is a huge loss for them. But again, this is the team that's been through adversity. They know what it's like. They've done this before, where they look like they were bad, and suddenly, like that, will switch. Suddenly, like that, with a flick of a switch, they turn it up. We've seen the Bengals how bad they can be, and suddenly they turn around and they somehow sneak into the playoffs, and they get dangerous. So if this is the week that they turn it around, it's going to be this game. And it's for both teams. The Bengals, the Eagles. The Bengals are playing for their season this week. They're playing for the season. This is their game right here. If they don't win it, it's over for them. And they know it. So we got to be prepared, man. We got to go out there and we got to dominate. We got to put our foot on their asses. We got to put our foot on their necks. We got to put foot on their faces. We got to put foot on their behind and kick the dog shit at them. Make sure they know that we're for real. We don't care who you are, what you are. We're going to beat the dog shit at you. We're the Eagles. And we're the Juggernauts. And we're going to play like that. And that's how we should be playing. Aggressive attitude. Run the ball down the throats. Take some pressure off Jalen Hurts. Get AJ, get Devontae, get Jahan going. I want to see Jahan get going. I think this is the game where he gets going. Because if I look at the Bengals, what do you think they're focused on this week? It's going to be shutting down Saquon Barkley. It has to be. I mean, the way Saquon went off on the Giants, you would think the game plan will be shutting down Saquon Barkley, right? And taking away A.J. Brown. Now, do they have the corners to do that? I don't know. I'm going to get more details down this week of who they have. But, yeah, Daniel Jones' ass. He definitely is. Eagles own the Giants. Eagles once again bully the Giants. They always bully the Giants, man. The Giants are little bitches, man. Like I said, we're the pimps that slap the hoes. And they're the hoes, and we're the pimps. Who did the Commanders beat? The Panthers, the Bengals? Yeah, they play nobody. Listen. The Commanders lost to – then they lost to the Ravens. Okay? That was the first team that they played that was a road team. Okay? Don't let the Commander fans fool you. Wait until they have to play road teams soon. Okay? They have not been through adversity yet. They have not. Jaden Daniels has not been through adversity yet. I want to see what he does when he loses a game. And he loses to a division rival. Because I think he's going to lose to the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to sweep the Commanders, and I think they're going to sweep the Giants. And I think we sweep Dallas. We're going to sweep the whole division this year. I'm not scared of Jaden Daniels. Well, for what? What does he do? He don't beat me. He could beat other teams with his legs. He ain't going to beat us with his legs. We're going to shut that shit down real quick. We're going to make him throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? We know who Jaden Daniels is. We come on, man. The Eagles ran 35 times, past 50 times. I want a game plan every week. Yeah, well, we should have ran at the first beginning, man. I mean, we come out in passing. I don't know why. Right? There's some play calls, it's like you scratch your head, like, why? You know? Thank you, New York Giants and Joe Shane for Saquon. I really appreciate it. No, I mean, I'm thankful we got Saquon. I mean, if you don't have Saquon, I don't think you beat the Saints. If you don't have Saquon, I don't think you beat the Packers. Saquon Barkley is literally carrying this team. And with A.J. Brown, obviously. And this is why you pay these guys. These are why you pay star players. To take the load off your quarterback and help your quarterback out. You know, everybody talking about, well, Jalen Hurts, how many weapons does he need? Well, how many weapons does Joe Burrow need? How many weapons does Mahomes needs? Mahomes has literally everything around him. Mahomes is literally a definition of weapons everywhere for him. You know, in his beginning of his career, I keep saying, look how many weapons he had. Don't tell me he didn't have weapons. He did. You're lying to yourself. Every quarterback needs weapons. Okay? Even the best. Joe Montana had weapons. Jerry Rice. Roger Craig. There were weapons. Dallas Clark. He had elite defense. You need weapons to win in this league. and win in general. You need an offensive line to keep you upright. There's nothing wrong with that. So people can say what they want, but Jalen Hurts deserves to have weapons. Why doesn't he not? What is the idea of not having A.J. Brown? Why can't he not have A.J. Brown? If Brock Purdy's like a Debo Samuel, by the way, Brock Purdy, I told y'all, wait until he loses some players. Yeah, we're laughing at Jalen Hurts. Somebody, oh, look at him now. Look at Brock Purdy now. Let's see what Brock Purdy does without Ayuk now. Let's see how good he is. Because there's a lot of 49 fans in my comments telling me he's better than Jalen Hurts. Okay. All right. No, he's not. I watched that game versus the Chiefs. He looked average. He looked what he was. An average last pick in the draft quarterback. But 49er fans, they always like talking shit without any facts. And that's cool. And I'm sure down below after this live stream, they're going to be talking nonstop. And it's cool. Your quarterback looked like mediocre garbage. Okay? It's crazy when you lose weapons. Look how much your quarterback looks. But you want to talk shit about mine. Yeah, you're right. With him losing A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts looked like a different quarterback. Who doesn't? You take away Kelsey off Mahomes' team, and let's see how good he is. He would look different. So it is what it is. He said Vic Fangio was terrific. Blitz, 8 sacks, only 3 points allowed, no offensive touchdowns allowed. Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. Fangio has done a phenomenal job with the defense. I love the adjustments he's making. You know what I'm saying? Fangio was a lot more aggressive. And I noticed ever since Nick Sirianni has been called out for calling out the defense, he's giving Fangio back his defense, which he should have. I'm glad. Because Fangio is now showing why he was hired. You saw a lot more aggressive blitzes that we didn't see for a while. You know what I'm saying? Nakobe Dean was blitzing, was able to blitz so much in this game. You were blitzing Daniel Jones. Sometimes they were holding back. Like the one time where he was scrambling almost for a first down, I would have blitzed him. But we were blitzing a lot more than we have been. And that's a good sign. The Eagles ran 35 times past 15. I think I read that. You said Nakobe Dean had a good game. Now, Nakobe Dean is a beast, man. His best attribute is when you get him in a blitz situation. He can shoot that gap immediately. He's very, very quick when he shoots that gap. And I like the fact that when he got knocked down, when the running back literally took him out off his knees, the dude got back up and still hit Daniel Jones. Like, all right, cool. Let me hit your quarterback now. Hit your quarterback now. I like the fact that he kept going. He didn't stop. He didn't say, oh, well. No, he continued to finish the play. And that's what I like. The competitiveness is in him. Nakobe Dean has all the tributes to be good. Just got to show it. Nolan Smith, looking like he's coming through. And that's what I want because, listen, we talked about it, right? Your picks that you drafted, Howard Roseman drafted this guy high. They have to contribute. They have to produce. Nolan Smith is supposed to be Hassan Reddick's replacement, okay? That's why they drafted him. So I need Nolan Smith to step up, and he's been doing that. For the last 2 games, he's gotten pressure. And I like the fact that we rotated him in Sweat's we rotated him and we took Sweat out and we put Nolan Smith on the other side. I think Nolan Smith on Josh Sweat's side was so effective. He looks so much faster on the left side than he does on the right side. When he's able just to rush the quarterback, he's hard to stop. You see the motor, and I think this defense is figuring it out, and I hope they continue it. All I hear was sexy Dixie Brian Bird's going to stop Saquon. Yeah. I mean, they stopped them for what? Maybe two plays, and then reality hit. You know what I'm saying? Remember what John Mara said on the Hard Knocks? I have a tough time sleeping. It's like we're going to Philadelphia. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, John Mara knows what he's talking about because he knew what was happening. And Joe Shane looked at him like he had three heads on his neck. Like he had three heads literally on his body. Joe Shane should be fired, man. If I was John Mara, I would have fired his ass after that game. I had Saquon Madden back. Yeah, everybody played Saquon. If you were, especially when you were making trades, the first trade I was making was Saquon Barkley on the Eagles because he's just a fucking beast. You know, I'm so glad we have him. Easton one, I watched Saquon at Penn State. He was a beast. He had 1,000. Yeah, I wanted to draft him so bad. I still have a viral video of me saying we need to draft Saquon Barkley, even though I didn't think it was going to be possible. You know, but I wanted the Eagles to move up to take Saquon Barkley. I don't know why. Fred Johnson was getting bullied. Yeah, Fred Johnson was getting his ass beat. I mean, he got to work on that. But you know what? He's also a guy that, you know, he's only filling in for Jordan Mailata. Mailata goes down. I mean, you're in a situation where now you gotta really step up and face one. And Brian Burns is not no bum. You know, this guy's been a good pass rusher for the Panthers for years. You know, unfortunately, he's on a trash defense like the Giants. I think he would be more effective if he was on the Eagles or someone like or the Commanders or even Dallas. You know, I think the Giants are just garbage and they make everybody look bad. But Brian Burns came to play, and you know he took advantage of Fred Johnson. Fred Johnson has no experience. I mean, it is what it is. He'll get better eventually. Mahomes looked terrible this year, but nobody wants to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, everyone will talk about, well, Mahomes is a Super Bowl champion. Listen, I don't care, right? If you're going to nitpick Jalen Hurts' interceptions, then let's nitpick every other quarterback's interceptions. Mahomes has a lot of interceptions. You know, people can talk about what they want. I don't care about the Super Bowls. Who cares? The fact that this man is throwing interceptions, you don't want to talk about it because it's not what you want to talk about. It's crazy. You know, let's keep it real. You want to talk about Jalen Hurts' interception? Let's talk about these other quarterbacks. It's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with talking about Mahomes, of how he turned over the ball. Why? What does Super Bowls have to do with anything? Yes, he wins Super Bowl. Yes, he's an MVP. But we're just saying, even Super Bowl MVPs turn over the ball too. Every quarterback throws a pick once in a while. They're not perfect. They're human just like everybody else. They're not robots. They're not anime characters. They're humans. They're going to make mistakes. Everybody wants Jalen Hurts to be perfect. He misses a throw, we're throwing him, bitching, and complaining. Even me too when I'm watching the game. But when I see comments about, well, he sucks. He missed Devontae wide open. Bro, chill out. Chill out. You missed one throw, okay? And then he misses Saquon Barkley. Yes, I agree. Saquon Barkley, that was a play he had to make. But then if you look at the Devontae Smith play, he had pressure in his face. What do you want him to do? You don't. If you want him to throw the ball and pressure in his face, then what happens more likely? It's going to get picked. And then you complain he threw an interception. So it's like you can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and say, well, he should have threw that ball. But if he did that, it would have been picked. And then you would complain he's a turnover machine. Stop it. Just to make you hate Jalen Hurts. It's cool. I'd rather respect you if you just come out and say, you know what, I'm a Carson fanboy and I hate Jalen Hurts because I just hate him. Just say you're a Carson fanboy. There's a lot of Carson fanboys in Joey Shake's chat. You're talking about go watch his live stream. I can't watch live stream because the one dude just pisses me off. And I ain't going to say no names, but there's one guy in chat that irritates the fuck out of me. All he does is bash Jalen Hurts. Even when he has a good game. Oh, he didn't show me nothing. It's like, dude, Carson Wentz fucking blows, man. Go sit down. There's a lot of guys that don't watch football. It shows they never played football in their lifetime. They never played a game in their lifetime. But they want to talk like they know football. If you never played a football, even in Pee-wee, you never played Pee-wee in your lifetime, shut up. Like, bro, sit down. I played football. I played tackle football. Maybe not for long, but I know that when you get pressure in quarterback's face, and they throw that ball, it's going to get picked. So, again, people just need to stop trying to act like they know it all. The film don't lie. When you look at the play, the pressure was in his face. I mean, they want him to be Superman, but then they don't want him to be Superman. Which one do you want him to be? You want him to be Superman and try to make a play when it's not there? Or do you want him to take what the defense is giving him, which he has done? He checked it down in the game well. You say he don't check it down. Well, he checked it down. He checked it out twice. One to Saquon Barkley, where Saquon demolished that dude. I mean, the man had family and everything like that. He demolished him. His kids were watching probably and said, Daddy, why is he on the ground? Why did Daddy get punished the way he did? And then he checked it down to say Gainwell. So he's done that. Does he do it often? No. No quarterback is perfect. I don't know why people act like Jalen Hurts has to be perfect. If you think he has to be perfect, well, I'm sorry to remind you, he's not. He's still learning like every other quarterback, man. He's only 25 years old. Let me remind y'all something. He's 25 years old. He's still learning how to be a quarterback in this league. He still has a lot to grow. If you remember Russell Wilson in his first year as a Seahawks, you saw him running a lot. And then he had to learn to be a pocket passer. And for a while, he was struggling with that. But then he started getting it going. Once he got it going, he was unstoppable. Now, the Russell Wilson we see now is just washed. But when you talk about the Russell Wilson in 2013, 12, he had to learn. Like every other quarterback. Not all quarterbacks are going to be Mahomes. Even Mahomes had to learn. You go back and watch his first year and look at him now. He's a way different quarterback than he was before. And for a while, he was making some bonehead decisions. Go back and watch Mahomes. He had to learn to stay in the pocket. And he had to learn to adjust. So, I mean, when you hear people talk about Jalen Hurts is trash, they're not watching the games. They over there bashing him because he didn't make a play. Well, you want him to play superhero then? Which one you want? You can't have it both ways. You either want him to play superhero ball, those a pick, then you want to get mad at him, or do you want him to take what the defense is giving him, which he's done. You might not like it. It might not be the sexy play that you're looking for, but he's done that. Has he done it all the time? No, he hasn't. There's some throws where he's missed, but he's still learning, and he's going through his reads. If you watch him a lot of times, sometimes the defense is just making a good play. You got to give it to hats sometimes to the defense. Say, you know what? That's a good play, man. Does Jalen Hurts have to work on taking what the defense gives him sometimes? Yeah. Do I think he holds on the ball a lot? Yes. That is a young quarterback. That's what all young quarterbacks do. All young quarterbacks hold on to the ball. Baker Mayfield holds on to the ball. Mahomes, for a while, hold on to the ball way too long. It happens. He will learn as the season goes along that I got to get that ball out. He will learn. Okay? Jalen Hurts is only, 26? We're acting like this guy's 31. He's only 26. He's, 25 or 26? Let me look him up. Hold on, let me look at his age. I swear Jalen Hurts is only 25 or 26 years old. Hold on, let me look him up. He's only 26 years old. 26! Ladies and gentlemen, he's only 26 years old. Come on, give me a break. The man is 26. 26. Let's calm down. All right? 26 years old. Like this, crazy, man. It's crazy. He's 26 years old. No, Carson Wentz is done, man. Did you watch him? The man's a backup. Carson Wentz is washed. I don't know why people are acting like Carson Wentz is still good. Man can't even win a playoff game on his own. Stop it. I'm tired of hearing about him. Anybody who wants Carson Wentz back, go be a Kansas City Chief fan. That's my advice to you. Right? We're not getting rid of Jalen Hurts. It's not happening. You can get that over it. Or you can cry about it. I really don't give a rat's ass. Easton one, I have a trivia question for you. The Eagles have only beaten the Bengals one time in their history. What year? One time the Eagles beat the Bengals. What year did we beat the Bengals? I'm not sure. I think it's when I wasn't alive though. I might not have been born the last time we beat the Bengals. I think it was the 80s or something like that. I'm not sure with that. Listen, I don't know every Eagles answer. I'm gonna say I don't know with that one. It was past my time. I know that one. It's been a long time, no question about it. It's been a long time. Let's see. When's the last time we beat the Bengals? What was it? Yeah, since 2000. Yep, exactly. I was born in 2000. The answer is 2000. Yeah, I didn't know that because I was born in 2000. So I mean, yeah. So I was literally born the last time we probably beat the Bengals. I was just a baby. Yeah, probably because I was born in 2000. So yeah, I mean I don't know every answer, man. I'm not gonna say I know it all. I don't plan to know it all, everything. Um, but yeah, we got to stop. We got to break that trend. I know we have struggled with the Bengals in Cincy, you know, and we have not beaten them, and we got to break that trend, man. Bengals and Eagles games have been weird, man. Yeah, we tied with them. Yeah, that was a bad game, man. I don't even want to think about that game. That game when we tied the game was so bad, man. I was so mad. We should have beat that team. So not to brag, but anybody who wants to talk shit about Johns, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Y'all see that? It says pass rating under pressure. Week exclusive on third team. 33 the 33 the 33rd team. All right, this is the Twitter. Sam Donor has a 158.3. Jared Goff 142.3. Jalen Hurts 135.4. Marcus Mariota 125. That's pass rated under pressure. Jones is third. But we want to act like this guy's terrible. Meanwhile, Josh Allen is eighth. Okay. Patrick Mahomes is 17th. Jalen Hurts is third. Jared Goff is two, and Sam Darnold is one. I just want to throw that out. So there is reports the Browns are getting calls from Myles Garrett. What would you give up for Myles Garrett? Let me ask you a question. What would you give up? I might give up maybe a late second, but I'm not going too far than that. You're looking on Twitter, man. I don't know, man. Like I like Myles Garrett, no question about it. But I don't feel comfortable training the whole farm for him. It's just not going to happen. Herbert sold us that game. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want to hear the Eagle fans are the worst fan base in the league. No. No. But listen, everybody's burned jerseys. We burn jerseys. I'm not going to shit on Giant fans for doing that shit. But I think it's absolutely disgusting they would do this. If they should burn Daniel Jones jersey if they have one. So there is reports, like I said, breaking news. This to ML football. Breaking news: multiple NFL teams have made a trade inquiries for Browns All-Pro pass rusher Myles Garrett. This could get interesting. Now we got to take this with a grain of salt. Um, I'm sure the Eagles called in for Myles Garrett. Do I think there's some trade talks? Obviously, Howie Roseman calls for everybody. How interested do you think the Eagles are for Myles Garrett? I think they're interested. Would they absolutely aggressively go after him? Maybe. But I'm sure they're not the only team. Okay. We got to also understand what is the price that they're asking for. What would the Browns be asking for? My guess would be 2 first-round picks because they're in a situation where they're going to need a quarterback down the road. And I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks. I don't care. Myles Garrett is 28 years old. Yes, he's young. But when you look at those 2 first-round picks, you're going to need a left tackle down the road. You're going to need a pass rusher down the road. You're going to need another corner down the road, okay? Because when Slade leaves, who are you going to put? All right, you put Mitchell in there, but you still need a number 2 corner on the outside. Cooper DeJean will be your nickel. You're still going to need that one. I mean, are you trust Keely Ringo? I mean, I like Keely Ringo, but I don't think he's a starter. I mean, if you get Myles Garrett, man, I mean, that'd be insane. Browns fan was cheering when Deshaun Watson was that. Yeah, that was nasty, man. That was nasty. That was disgusting. Myles Garrett's pushing 30. I'm good. Is he 29 years old? How old is Myles Garrett? Let me take a look. He's only 28 years old. Well, no, wait, December 29. Yeah, he's 28 years old. So yeah, he would be 29. What's Myles Garrett's contract? Let me look it up. Myles Garrett has signed a 5-year, 12,500 contract, 1,205,000, 125,000 contract with the Cleveland Browns on July 14th, 2020. Contract runs through 2026. Its average annual value is 25,000. So yeah, I mean it would be I mean how if Howard Roseman, if there's one guy that can afford it, it would be Howard Roseman because of his contract. But what would the Browns be asking for? I want to know what the Browns would be asking for. What would the Browns ask for? That's the question. Are they going to ask for a lot? if I was the Browns, I would ask for so much. Because if I'm giving up a player like that, I want to load. I want to load on picks. I want to ransom for him, right? Because he's a star, right? At the end of the day. And if I'm giving them to anybody, whether it's the Commanders, the Lions, the Eagles, or the Packers, I'm going to need at least a player or two or some picks. The same if Jalen Ramsey went for a couple picks, then Myles Garrett's going to be a lot too. I mean, this is not an aging vet we're talking about. This is a guy that still has a couple more years on his belt. You know what I'm saying? He still can be effective on the right team. So if I'm the Browns, I would ask for a lot. Now, he's 28 years old, but he's still a star player. I mean, I don't see the Eagles doing it. I just don't. But then again, Howard Roseman's done some crazy things. Myles Garrett would not be a stretch at all. He would not be. He would not be. Myles Garrett just said he would love to play in Philadelphia. So maybe it does come true. It would be awesome. I mean, if he was like 25, probably would. Yeah, I mean, he's 28. Not gonna lie, I'd rather trade for Denzel Ward. Yeah, I don't think Denzel Ward is available, man. But you know what? Hey. Yeah, he's $125 million cap hit. If you, I mean, how much is this cap hit? So this is from Philadelphia Eagles. This is from SI.com. Okay. They said, could the Philadelphia Eagles pull off a blockbuster trade for not so distant future? Certainly can't be ruled out at this point. We are just a few weeks from the 2024 National League trade deadline, and this is the time to speculate about a possible dream deals that would take the Eagles to another level. Philadelphia has plenty of star power and a lot of potential, but there is plenty of room for growth. Eagles should be doing everything possible to go all in on 2024 season. They have talent everywhere, but their window is when a championship is still open. The team has been flooded with bad press, but this is the better team on paper than last year. It should be able to make a run. What could help their case even more is if they could add a dominant pass rusher into a mix as well. Because of this, 94WIP.com, Elliot Schwarber floated an interesting idea of trade for Cleveland Browns superstar Myles Garrett. The Eagles should absolutely trade a first-round pick. I'm not trading a first-round pick, plus more. See, this is the problem with Elliot Shore-Parks, man. Elliot Shore-Parks don't know what he's talking about. Like Elliot Shore-Parks, hey, dummy. Hey, dummy. You playing in a draft for left tackle in the next few years right tackle when Lane Johnson retires? How you going to do that? Like, we need to stop trying to act like these picks don't matter. They do, right? If I'm going to give up for a player, for a player, it got to be at least a 25-year-old. I'm not giving up a ransom and bunch of picks for a 28-year-old, especially a guy that's going to be turning 29 soon. All right, is Myles Garrett a good player? Yes. My maximum that I would go high for would be a second-round pick. That'd be it. I'm not trading a first-round pick and more. Okay, so that's stupid. Elliot Shore-Parks is a doofus. This is why I don't listen to him. His takes are stupid. Makes no sense sometimes. I mean, acquiring Myles Garrett or Max Crosby at the trade down, Shore-Parks said they were young and talent everywhere, but the edge Garrett is 28 and Crosby is 27. Paid premium price for a premium player. Yeah, well, that's how we end up being, and then that's why you end up like the Rams. All right, Garrett would be a very intriguing pickup. He was named the National Football League Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. Garrett is a 5-time Pro Bowl, 5-time All-Pro. Hasn't finished the season with less than 10 sacks since his rookie year in 2018. His contract is expensive, as 2 more years left on 5-year, $125 million deal. But he certainly is worth at least a call to see what the deal would cost. I mean, it's proposal. If I had to guess what the Eagles would trade for, it would be a Von Miller, because I think he would be cheap. I can't see the Eagles pulling a Myles Garrett. I just would I love to get Myles Garrett? Absolutely. But I would be pissed off if we trade our farm for Myles Garrett. Let me tell you why. As good as Myles Garrett is, like I said, Lane Johnson is not getting younger. You're going to need a right tackle soon. Who's your right tackle? Lane Johnson is what, 35 years old? He's retiring after either this year or next year. Brandon Graham is done after this year. You're going to need another pass rusher. Okay? Slade's probably gone this year. You're going to need another corner. You got to think about that stuff. So, yes, would it be great to have a Myles Garrett? Absolutely. Would I love to have Myles Garrett on that defense with Bryce Huff, Jalen Carter? Absolutely. It would be phenomenal. But that's not realistic. When does Howie Roseman ever go out and give up 2 first-round picks for a player? Not happening usually. It hasn't happened usually. All right? You'd be lucky if you give them – you'd be lucky if you get – like, could Howie Roseman do it? Absolutely could. Would he probably do it? Probably not. Howie Roseman values a lot of draft picks, and especially first-round picks. How many first-round picks do we have? How many first – let's look at the 2025 first-rounders. All right, 2025 first round. How many picks do we have? Eagles draft picks. So we have 7 picks in the 25 first round. Philadelphia recently traded 3 picks in the 3rd round, 2 7th rounders to Washington Commanders for John Dodson. Let's see. So let's see. See these picks. How many picks do we have? So the Eagles got round 1, round 2, round 3 from Miami. This is the 2025 picks. So the Eagles got – okay, hold on. Let me pull this up. So the Eagles got a – Jesus Christ, man. Get the hell out of here. Let me look up. So 2025, we own a first round pick. We own a 2nd round pick in the 2025. We own a 3rd round pick in the 2025. We own a 5th round pick and we own a 7th from Denver. We own a 25 6th round pick. We own that one, and we own one for the Falcons. We own one from the Saints. So we got a bunch of picks. I mean, oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. So we only got 1 first round pick, right? If you're going to get Myles Garrett more likely, you're going to need 2 first-round picks. Trade Myles for a 2nd-round pick. They're not going to do that. The Browns are not going to give up Myles Garrett for 1 2nd-round pick. No, it's going to cost at least multiple. Do you know how valuable Myles Garrett is to the Browns? Do you know how good Myles Garrett is? Like, Myles Garrett is a very good player. Like, if you get him on that Eagles team, I think you're Super Bowl contenders immediately. And I think you win the Super Bowl immediately. That's how good he is. All right. Myles Garrett is going to be a lot. That's what I'm saying. And he has a hefty contract. So not only you have to worry about trading for him and how much you give up for picks for him, you got to rework that contract. Because that contract can run a lot of things where it could cause a lot of cap issues. Now, the beauty is Howie Roseman is very good with the cap and the contract situations. But I don't see Howie Roseman trading 2 first-round picks. And let's say the Browns say, you know what? We want 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett. Howie Roseman ain't going to do that. Okay? Howie Roseman going to sit there and laugh and say, no, thank you. I'd rather go get Von Miller. No, I don't want Von Miller because I don't think he's what he was. But can he still play? Maybe. I mean, Howard Roseman will probably get a guy from Tennessee, and it'll be like a 4th round pick type guy. Myles Garrett's going to cost a lot. And I don't see the Browns trading Myles Garrett. I just don't. Now, would they maybe? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the Browns would move on from a guy like Myles Garrett. I just don't. Because Myles Garrett is so important to the Browns. I mean, that's their whole defense right there. I mean, if you trade Myles Garrett, what defense players do you really have that's going to scare any other team? They got a division that they play in where they have to go against quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, They got the Steelers that they play. They need a Myles Garrett on their team. So if the Browns trade Myles Garrett, they're tanking, and they're going to want a lot. I guarantee they're going to want a ransom for him, right? Now, there was a rumor going around, right, that they were looking to that if they were going to trade, I'm sorry. So the Packers have called for, and this was just a rumor. I don't know how true it is. The Packers were one of those teams that were interested in Myles Garrett, and they were also interested in Greg Newsome. If I go for a player, I'm going for Greg Newsome. Why do you say that? Because I look at Slay. He's going to retire probably this year. You had him with Quinyon Mitchell. You have your two corners locked up for years. You don't even need to draft another one. And if you could get a guy like that, you add him with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in the slot. I mean, in the nickel position, and you just get rid of Maddox. I think you're set. If I'm going to go for a player, it'll be Greg Newsome or Denzel Ward if he's available. I'm not trading a farm for a 28-year-old. I mean, not unless that contract, unless they eat some of that. Like, I think if we trade for Myles Garrett, I think Howard was going to make the Browns have to eat some of that cap that they gave Myles Garrett, unfortunately, because that contract is huge, man. I just don't think we can afford it. But we'll see. I mean, if one thing Howard Roseman can do, he definitely can rework contracts, man. So we'll see. I don't think the Eagles would trade a first round pick for Myles Garrett. I just don't. I mean, maybe they don't have to. Maybe the Eagles get a discount for Myles Garrett. But Myles Garrett is I don't think he's going anywhere. I think it would take a lot to get Myles Garrett. Like, the Browns would have to get so intrigued by so much picks to even try to move on from him. Like, it would be another Patrick Surtain type move where you would have to intrigue them to try to move on from him. And I just don't see the Browns move on from him. I just don't. Why would the Browns trade Myles Garrett? What would be the point? Well, their season's done. Okay. But he's 28 years old. You drafted him, right? So it's like, if you move on from Myles Garrett, you might as well blow up the whole damn team at that point, right? I think the Browns are just one quarterback away from being contenders. I really do. I think the problem is just the quarterback. They don't have a quarterback, right? Deshaun Watson sucks. But it's like, if you do that, I think that you're in a situation where I think you need to trade every player. Get rid of Denzel Ward. Get rid of Myles Garrett. Get rid of everybody. Because if you trade Myles Garrett, I mean, you're pretty much in tank mode, right? That's how I look at it. And the Browns would definitely be sellers. Myles Garrett's going to be expensive. I don't think Myles Garrett's going to get traded, though. I don't. I think that's just rumors. Now, if Myles Garrett gets traded, they're going to rob a team for sure. The Browns are going to get a lot of picks back. Because, like I said, they're going to want a lot. Myles Garrett is not going to go for no second-round pick. And Alan Shore Parks, the thing about him is, this is why he's not a damn GM. Because he would cripple this team. He would cripple this team. Oh, I would give up picks for Myles Garrett. You would, until you need until you need a right tackle when Lane Johnson goes and retires. Then what do? No, you don't have any picks now. You traded that for Myles Garrett. See, we love thinking rationally, but we don't think logically. We think with our phantom, and we forgot who we have as a GM. We got Howard Roseman. Howard Roseman is not going to trade no ransom for a player, man. He's not. And when you look at it, there's other players that you can get that can just be just as effective as Myles Garrett. Right? It might not be the sexy player that you want, but you can get a cheaper guy that can do it just as good as Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett might be the shiny toy that everybody would want. And listen, you get Myles Garrett, I'm not going to complain. But I would love to know how much we gave up for it. If we give up too much, I'd be pissed. Because, all right, you gave up for Myles Garrett. You better go win the Super Bowl then. If you give up a ransom for Myles Garrett, you better win the Super Bowl. You better be in that bitch winning it. Because if you don't, you're going to end up like the Rams. And I don't want to be in that situation. And I don't think the Eagles will ever do that. I don't see the Eagles doing that. I don't think the Browns will trade him. Like I said, I think they're all bull crap. I have a hard job believing the Browns would do it. I think we go and trade for someone like a Von Miller or Khalil Mack. Yeah, I think that's more likely. You know what I'm saying? Myles Garrett wants to come to Philadelphia. Listen, Myles Garrett, I think, is a free agent. Isn't he a free agent in? He's a free agent in 2026. If the Browns trade Myles Garrett, it would probably be the following year after this year, like in free agency. I think that's where you could make a move for Myles Garrett, right? When they're in the offseason. But right now, no, I don't see it. Now, I think Myles Garrett's just a hot topic right now because listen, you know, maybe the Browns are getting calls. Of course they're getting calls. Myles Garrett is an interesting prospect. That don't mean the Browns are going to make a move and trade Myles Garrett. The Eagles got calls, I'm sure, for everybody. They got calls for A.J. Brown, okay? They turned them, every one of them, down. You can get calls for players all the time. The Patriots called for A.J. Brown last year. The Eagles said, we're not trading him. The Panthers called for A.J. Brown. They didn't make the move. So, yeah, the Eagles could definitely call for the Browns. The Browns are going to have to be willing to move on from him. And I don't think the Browns would do it. I think the Browns are listening, and they might be interested a little bit, but they would have to be blown away, is what I'm saying. Right? So, I mean, this is from and listen, this is a great topic because listen, you get Myles Garrett on your defense. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, Myles Garrett's a hell of a player. Like, and then this is what they're saying. Myles Garrett reportedly drawn interest after Cleveland Browns fell to a 1-6 on Sunday. I mean, if they're 1-6, I mean, maybe. According to Sports Alabria, opposing teams have checked on Garrett, but he doesn't believe that the star defense end will be moved. Yeah, so I don't think they'll move Myles Garrett, but some fishing has taken place. Anyone can call Denzel Ward, Jeremiah Wusu-Kamara, Breer wrote, but guys such as Zadarius Smith or Jack Conklin would have values to others, could be more realistic targets. Cleveland has already moved one key contributor, traded the 6 Pro Bowler wide receiver Amari Cooper. I think they traded Amari Cooper because he didn't fit in with the Browns. And I think he was just a locker room cancer in that building. Still, it's hard to envision Browns dealing with Myles Garrett. Cooper was set to become a free agent. Yeah, that's why they did it, because he was a free agent at the end of the season. While the pass rusher still has 2 more years on his contract. Garrett's also established himself as one of the best league. Yeah, so these are just rumors, man. Unless there's actually aggressive trade calls with Myles Garrett, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Like I said, I think that give a better chance of getting a guy like Jack Conklin or Zadarius. I think Zadarius Smith would be more of a realistic option for Howard Roseman. I really do. I think Zadarius Smith would be a more of a trade candidate for Howard Roseman than Myles Garrett. Okay. Now, listen, Myles Garrett comes to Philadelphia. I mean, fuck. I'm all for it. But again, I don't think the Browns would do it. Yes, they're 1-6. I get that. But he has 2 more years on his deal. Why would you trade Myles Garrett? For what reason? Unless one thing, you're drafting a quarterback and you're trying to get picks to move up for one. That's the only reason. Other than that, I don't think the Browns would do it. I think the Browns are listening, but I don't think they would pull the trigger. You know what I mean? You never know. Maybe they would, but I don't think they would. So this is from Eagles Insider. They said, my guess the Browns' ask price for Garrett will be a 2025 first round pick, a 2026 first round pick, a 20. Yeah, I'm not doing all that. I'm not. If it's 2 first round picks, I'm not doing that. No. I like Myles Garrett, but that is way too much for him. Way too much for him. And you got to think about the long term, man. I mean, you're going to have him for what, 2 more years? Okay, I get that. But how many more years is he going to be playing for? That's the question. Is he going to be the same after 30 years old? Right? Michael Parsons. I want to hear this. What is this?
You almost have to say this because it is not Saquon's fault that he is not back in the blue and white. He's not back in New York. I want to look at point fingers at the GM. Like, did you not all see the same video of Hard Knocks when they said we don't know if we want to give him this money? Now you see exactly why you give Saquon his money. Like, this is the most outrageous thing that I've ever seen in my life. Like the fan base has to believe. You can't believe a man. Like, it's not like y'all allowed Saquon to hit free agency. Y'all allowed the Eagles to offer him.
Michael wants to join the
Y'all
Eagles.
could have signed him during the season.
Went to the Cowboys, let Michael Parsons go, and he's going to join the Eagles. No, I'm just playing. Wouldn't that be funny though? Dude, he should be focused on his game, man. The fact that he's on the podcast is crazy. That's a guy that's a distraction for real. I mean, just imagine you're supposed to be focused on your game, and you're on a podcast with Saquon. Oh my God, he's playing, man. All right, sorry about that. That was just my Twitter. So then this was a report, and I think this is stupid. The Eagles were listed as a team that could potentially trade for the Titans wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. Why? I don't think the Eagles would ever trade for a receiver. Like what would we get out of trading for DeAndre Hopkins? Unless you don't think John Dotson is it. Like, come on, man, stop. That's stupid. We don't really need. We need pass rush if anything, right? I think you could use another cornerback. I mean, pretty much that's what I'm seeing so far. Just smoke and mirrors, pretty much. Again, I don't think Myles Garrett would get traded, man. I just don't. But we've seen crazy things happen. We've seen things happen that's like, whoa. Sorry about that. Eagles don't use the wide receiver 3. No, I mean John Dotson has not been even involved. I don't think he focuses on pockets more than football. Yeah, and then that's a distraction. I mean, Michael Parsons needs to worry about playing football. You're on your podcast with Saquon. That's great and fine if you're on the Eagles, but it's like you're a Cowboys player. Well, why are you worried about an op? That's crazy. Garrett's going to be expected. I don't think Myles Garrett's going to get moved. I think these are all just bullcrap rumors, man. You know how the trade deadline is. Last year, how many times we heard about Patrick Surtain coming to Philadelphia? I heard it so many times, right? How many times we heard about Jalen Ramsey coming to Philadelphia? Don't believe these type of stop. Don't fall for the narrative. Like my guy, Des Eagle 90 said, don't fall for the clickbait. Don't fall for the narrative. Don't, because you're only going to hurt yourself. Because when it doesn't happen and it's not the team you think it is, you're going to be devastated. Don't fall for it. Unless the Eagles are reportedly aggressively trying to make a trade for Myles Garrett, and there's reports the Eagles and Howard Roseman are aggressively trying to make a move for Garrett, don't believe these reports. I don't believe none of these reports, man. I'm not going to fall for it. They fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's not going to happen. Right? We heard the Myles Garrett, and it's great. We heard Surtain last year. How many times we heard Patrick Surtain was coming to Philadelphia? Reports Patrick Surtain was coming to Philadelphia. Interest there. All bull crap. Right? Jalen Ramsey was coming to Philadelphia. All bull crap. Le'Veon Bell was coming to, oh, no, right. He didn't come to me. Stop it. I mean, come on. Like, we should know better as a fan base. But we get so in the mix that we forgot that Howard Roseman doesn't make those type of moves. Howard Roseman is not giving up 3 first-round picks for a damn player. He's just not. Okay. Not unless he's a 25-year-old. Okay. He's not giving up for a player like that. He's just not. You know, you're more likely going to get a Zadarius Smith in the trade, or you're going to get a Von Miller than a Myles Garrett. You're more likely going to get a premium, low-cost player. Howard Roseman does not trade for those type of players, especially for those type of ransom-type picks. He doesn't give up picks that much. When does he rarely give up 3 first-round picks ever? Come on. I mean, people over, he gave up for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was also 28, what was he? 26 years old. All right? And he was a receiver. Okay? It's not the same. Right? Derrick Henry was coming to Philly, didn't have. Yeah, exactly. Derrick Henry was supposed to get traded to Philadelphia last year. It's all bullcrap. I'm trying to tell you. I don't think none of these passers that we're naming is the guy that we're going to get. We're going to get someone that we don't expect. It always happens. How many times have we heard Justice Simmons was coming to Philadelphia? Buda Baker. I keep hearing that name. Stop it. You know, like Buda Baker was supposed to come to Philadelphia last year, right? We were going to trade for Buda Baker, right? Come on. Like, stop. Hey, Myles Garrett is a great name. Would sell a lot of jerseys in Philadelphia, but it's not realistic. If anything, you probably would get him next year if you were going to make that trade before the offseason. You would make that trade maybe in the offseason or in free agency before the regular season, but not in the middle of the season. I can't see the Eagles making a move for Myles Garrett. I just can't. Now, could I be wrong? I could be. Maybe Howard Roseman does make a move for him. But it's not realistic. I don't see the Browns giving them up unless they give up a lot. Okay? And I mean a lot. Like what Ramsey got or what Watson got. You know, so what the Cleveland Browns gave up for Watson, that's what I think you would have to give up to get a Myles Garrett. And I'm sorry, I'm just not. Because those picks are very valuable. Like I said, Lane Johnson is not playing that much longer. You're going to need a right tackle. You're going to need another defensive tackle when Brandon Graham leaves. I mean, a passer when Brandon Graham, an edge rusher when Brandon Graham leaves. You got Mill Williams, who's on contract that is going to be expired after this year. You got a lot of decisions to make. So you can't go out and get a Myles Garrett and give up picks for him when you have other positions that you're going to have to fill down the road. We got to also think about long term. Howard Roseman's not thinking just short term. Yes, are we in a window to win a Super Bowl now? Yes, but if you know Howard Roseman's mindset, like we should be, what is he thinking about? Not just this year, years to come. Because your window, it's great to win a Super Bowl, but it's great to win multiple Super Bowls. And how do you do that? You draft. Those are the players. And you want to give up. And Ellie Shore Parks, that's why I don't like Ellie Shore Parks, because he sees dumb shit. And the fans fall for this shit. Okay? Ellie Shore Parks would cripple this team if he was the damn GM. Okay? Ellie Shore Parks don't know more football than the goddamn blind guy on the cross of the street. Okay? Stop listening to Ellie Shore Parks. Please. Okay? The fact that he said he would give up multiple picks for him is why he's not the damn GM. Because, yes, Myles Garrett's a great player, but I'm not giving up a whole future ransom for one 28-year-old that in the next 2 years is going to be 30 years old. And, oh, shit, I don't have a right tackle now, and Lane Johnson's done, and he's retired, and I don't have those picks to fill in. Because it's great now, but when you need those picks and you don't have it because you wasted on a player, now you're in a situation where it's like, oh, boy, and I'd rather protect my quarterback for the next few years and protect Jalen Hurts than get just one Super Bowl. If that makes any sense. Like, will Myles Garrett put us over the top? Absolutely. Can we still win a Super Bowl without Myles Garrett? Absolutely, we can. We don't need a Myles Garrett to win a Super Bowl. We got talent. You can get a guy like Zadarius Smith who can still produce, right? Like, everybody talk about, well, we need Myles Garrett. No, we don't need Myles Garrett. We want Myles Garrett. We don't need him. Myles Garrett is going to cost you a pretty penny. And I don't think Howard Roseman does not give up a bunch of picks for a player. He doesn't. It doesn't happen usually. Not unless he's an A.J. Brown, who's, like I said, was a 25-year-old at the time. A.J. Brown's what, 27 years old now? Come on. Deshaun Watson Russell was supposed to come to Florida 2 years ago. Yeah, dude, like, don't fall for these BS rumors. Like my guy, Des Eagle 90, if he's in chat, what does he always say to me? And he said this every time because I fall for it, and I'm not fall for it again. Don't fall for the rumors. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the BS hot takes. They're all there for just clicks. They use Philly's name to get a rise out of you. Don't you get it? When they say Eagles are interested, they're making money off that because that's a very popular team. Of course, everybody said the Eagles are interested. I'm sure the Eagles are calling up for a lot of different players. That don't mean they're going to get them. Just because they're interested in someone don't mean they're going to get them. The Eagles were interested in Jalen Ramsey. They didn't get him. The Eagles were interested in Russell Wilson. They didn't get him, thankfully. They were interested in Deshaun Watson. They didn't get him. They're interested in Derrick Henry. They didn't get him. When are we going to learn that not every player that we're interested in is coming to Philadelphia? They're interested in Patrick Surtain. They didn't get him. You see where I'm going with this? I'd be shocked if we get Myles Garrett. I'll just put it that way. Could it happen? Things have happened. Crazy things have happened. Will it happen? Probably not. You're more likely to get a Zadarius Smith, if anything. That would be my Howard Roseman type move. I would see Howard Roseman make would be a Zadarius Smith, a guy that wouldn't be a Myles Garrett, but it would be a still a good pass rusher. We was interested in a lot of players. We didn't get them. No, because we're not a team that goes and gets. We will not give up a ransom for a player. Okay, I think Myles Garrett more likely will go somewhere like the Falcons. Okay, or someone like, I don't know, the Lions, because the Lions will give up so much for a player because they're a horrible franchise that don't know how to win, and it's cool. You know, it's sexy at the time, but watch what they do down the road when they give up picks. What do teams do when they do that? What happens usually? They fall apart. Look at the Rams. The Rams gave up a lot for Ramsey. And yes, they won a Super Bowl with him. But after that, they haven't been the same. They have not gone back to the Super Bowl. The 49ers, you know what I'm saying? They give up a lot to get – they give us somewhat to get Chase Young. And they didn't win the Super Bowl. That's not how you win championships, is to give up for a player. Now, could Myles Garrett put you over the top? Absolutely could. But we're talking about Howard Roseman. Let's be rational. Let's think outside the box. And let's put ourselves in Howard Roseman's shoes. If you're Howard Roseman, are you giving up the farm for one player? I don't think so. Because you got to look at the players that you're going to be losing in the next 2 years. Brandon Graham, Milton Williams is going to be a free agent. Lane Johnson is going to be gone probably in the next 2 years. You're going to need to replace them. You got contracts that are going to come up. You're going to need money. You're going to need to replace some of these guys. So again, we got to put ourselves in Howard Roseman's shoes. You know what I'm saying? Not as a fan. And it's great to dream. Listen, I would love Myles Garrett, and I would love a Max Crosby. But those are not realistic options that Howard Roseman is going to go for, right? Just like Patrick Surtain. I would love a Patrick Surtain, but we didn't get him, right? I would love a Jalen Ramsey. We didn't get him. So again, don't fall for the narrative. Understand something. Howard Roseman does not go and give up a ransom for one player. He doesn't. If it does not make sense, he's not going to do it. Right? We might gotta replace BG and Lane and Slate. Absolutely. And listen, if I'm going to give up for a player, I'll go get Denzel Ward because I'll look at the long-term plan. Right? Denzel Ward, how old is he? He's only 26. That I could see Howard Roseman giving up multiple players for because he's only 26 years old. Right? It's different from a 28-year-old and a 26-year-old. Because 28-year-old, if you look at the next 2 years, Miles Garrett's going to be 30 years old. Now you're back to a Slay situation. And I don't want to be in that situation. No, thank you. Now, when you look at it, I don't want to be in that situation, right? I'm tired of getting guys at 28 years old, right? It's great for 1 year, but you're training for a guy, plus he has a contract under him. You're going to have to restructure that somehow. And you're going to have to keep it for the next 2 years. So if he falls off the cliff after 1 year, well, you're screwed. Because now you got to take that contract. And you gave up multiple picks for that guy. You got to make a drastic decision. How many more years is Myles Garrett going to play for? Now, if he was 25 years old, hell yeah, I would do it. But he's 28. Okay? And he has 2 more years on his deal, and that's a great thing about it. So maybe the Eagles could have worked something out, but if we're talking about 3 first-round picks, don't expect the Eagles to do it, man. There's no way in hell I can see the Eagles giving up 3 first-round picks for a player. It's not going to happen. All right? More likely we'll get Zadarius Smith or a Von Miller type guy. That's more likely. And people might not like it. This is what Howard Roseman does, though. Okay, Howard Roseman does not go after expensive players. He just doesn't. Okay, A.J. Brown was a coincidental because Jalen Hurts knew him. Okay. That's why we got him. All right. But I don't see Myles Garrett coming to Philadelphia. I don't believe these reports. Unless the Eagles are reportedly interested in Myles Garrett to the point where they're actually pursuing him, don't believe these reports. Please don't fall for the clickbait, man. And yes, they're going to be content creators, and I'm sure they're going to be content creators like Eagle content. They're going to make videos about Myles Garrett. Understand something. Just because they make videos about it does not mean it's going to happen. Okay? Myles Garrett is more likely going to cost a lot to get. And if I'm the Browns, I'm going to get as much possible out of Myles Garrett value if I'm going to move on from him. I want first-round picks. I want players. I want a whole ransom for him. If I'm going to give up a 5-time Pro Bowler, star defensive end, I'm going to need a ransom for him. Because that's a guy that I don't want to give up if I'm the Browns. I don't care if I'm 1-9. Give me some type of play. What are you giving up? I want a first-round pick this year. I want 2 first-round picks this year. I want next year. I want next year after that. A player in return. They might want Quinyon Mitchell. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not trading a farm for one guy. That's ridiculous. That's a loser mentality way. And a lot of times that doesn't end up being a good decision. Yes, you might win 1 Super Bowl, but then you don't get back after that. And those picks turn into players for the another team. No, I don't want to help another team out. I'd rather get those players for my team so we can compete for multiple championships. Okay? So again, I mean, it is what it is, man. People might disagree with me. I could give a damn. I don't sugarcoat shit, and I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm not giving up multiple picks. I know my guy Quizzy the Great wanted to talk about, I would give up the farm for him until you need a right tackle for Lane Johnson, and then you don't got those picks. So again, I mean, my guy, it is what it is. There's some Eagle fans who don't look at that. Lane Johnson's going to need a replacement soon. And you're not going to have those picks if you give up for one guy. So we got to think about the future. This is not just about this year. Yes, we're in a window to win a Super Bowl this year, but if it means giving up a ransom for one guy, absolutely not. Maybe 1 first-round pick, but not multiple. And knowing the Browns are going to ask for a lot. No, thank you. And that's just the way I look at it. But it is what it is, man. That's the reason why I didn't want to pay Reddick or Bennett. Yeah, I mean Michael Bennett was a fifth rounder though. Reddick was what? A free agent. But yeah, I mean Myles Garrett is a great player. I'm not saying he isn't. And listen, if you can get Myles Garrett, I'm not going to complain. Like I said, if Howard Roseman figures out how to get Myles Garrett without giving up a ransom, I do it, right? Because he's a fucking beast. You know, Myles Garrett is a fucking monster. He's a disruptor, no question about it. And he would take pressure off Jalen Carter. And yes, I understand why people would want him. I get that. I understand that, no question about it. But when you look at context-wise, it doesn't make sense when it comes to money-wise. Okay? Those picks that you give up. Sorry about that. Those picks that you give up. By the way, hit that like button, subscribe if you new. But those picks you give up are pieces that you're going to need down the road. So yeah, it might look sexy now with a Myles Garrett on your team, but how's it going to look in 2 years when you need a replacement for Lane Johnson? And that's what I don't understand when Eagle fans say, oh, I'll give up a whole ransom for Myles Garrett. Yeah, until you need a player and you don't have that. There's other players other than Myles Garrett. Trust me. Myles Garrett's a very good player, but Zadarius Smith can do the same thing as Myles Garrett can. Will he be effective like Myles Garrett? Probably not. But can he still rush the passer? Yeah. I mean, what do we need? We need a pass rusher. We don't need a dominant pass rusher. We need a pass rusher. We need a guy that can take pressure off Jalen Carter. You know? But I'm not going to complain. Listen, you get Myles Garrett and you don't give up that much, I'm all for it. All right? It's whatever the Eagles think is best for the future. I trust Hal Roseman. Whatever he does, I'm all for it. But again, I don't see the Eagles doing it. So I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. I'm done after this. I mean, it's pointless at this point. It's like another Ramsey situation where we're going to hype him up until he doesn't come to Philadelphia, and then we're going to get disappointed. I'm not going to fall for that. Just not. Quinion Mitchell in coverage versus the New York Giants on 5.9.4. Four targets, 2 receptions, 15 yards. That's impressive, man. Quinion Mitchell's a beast, dude. He's a fucking beast. But yeah. He said Quinion Mitchell's a start. Absolutely. Quinion Mitchell is going to be a star corner in this league. He going to be a legit corner. I truly believe it. Quinion's a monster, but he got to catch the ball, though. Yeah, he got to work. He got to be on that Joe machine, man. He's dropped a lot of balls. Every defender so far has dropped a lot of balls. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Blankenship has been the only two that's pretty much intercepted the ball. Sidney Brown had one. If he catches it with 2 hands, it would have been an interception. You know, those are very crucial, right? They got to start getting the ball. I mean, this is what we did last year where we're dropping multiple interceptions. You got to get those interceptions. Those are big plays right there that can change the outcome of a game. And Quinion Mitchell had one and he just didn't come through it. You know, it's unfortunate, but he'll get one. I truly believe he'll get one either this week or sometime this year. He will have one. Trust me and believe it. It's coming. You know, eventually he'll get one. Um, Sorry, Dan, I was looking at something. Um, he said, hopefully the defense plays like this all year. Absolutely, I think the defense should definitely be playing like this all year. Listen, this defense, I like what I'm seeing so far. Right, the defense is getting after the quarterback. The Kobe Dean's looking great. Jalen Carr looked great. The whole defense got, like I said, they got after Daniel Jones' ass and they put him on his ass, and I love it, man. We got to continue that streak, and we got to continue feasting on the opportunities that we see, and taking advantage of the weakness of the offense, right? And I hope we continue that, right? And you know, Bryce Huff has gone better. I mean, ever since they changed the stance and they figured out how to use him, he's been getting home. I mean, he had some pressures yesterday where he's looked way faster than he was before. So yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I said Browns cornerback Greg Newsome, man, has been in trade rumors recently with Cleveland Browns falling to 1-6 contract coming up, contract up after that. I can see the Eagles making a move for Greg Newsome. That a guy I would like to have because I think it would be a great replacement for Slay. I don't know. That would be a name I could see the Eagles making a move for. I'm telling you, Greg Newsome, keep your eye on that one. That would be a sneaky move right there. Greg Newsome would be a sneaky move right there, man. I would not mind that, honestly. Greg Newsome would be a hell of a move. I mean, why not? Go get a corner, rat him with Mitchell. Why not? Why not? How old is Greg Newsome? How old is he? Greg Newsome, would he cost a lot though? If his contract's up, I could see the Eagles making a move for that. Because that would be a move that Howard's would make him, right? It's last year of his deal. He's 24 years old, right? Why not go make a move for him? I mean, yo, you would have two corners on your team. And honestly, I think you could use some depth, right? Right? Because let's be real, right? Other than Ringo, who do you have on the outside if Slay goes down? Like you got Rogers, but I'm sorry, but Bradbury, I think you got to get rid of him. I mean, I would make a move for him. Why not? He's on his last year of his deal. I can see the Eagles doing that. That would be a move I can see the Eagles making, right? Because I do think corner depth we could definitely use. They need to keep Smith on the right side. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Could you imagine Greg Newsome and freaking Mitchell for your future down the road? Your two corners that would be years to come. Whew, that would be nasty. That would be fucking nasty. I could see the Eagles making a move where they trade Slade to the Browns for Greg Newsome. I could see that. Or maybe a switch, right? Slade's on his last year, but you know he would bring a veteran experience. Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't mind Greg Newsome. No, I mean he would be a guy that I could see the Eagles making. Right? He's on his last year of his deal. He's 24 years old, right? And you got to also think of this, right? Do you trust Ringo to be your future? I don't know, right? And are you going to be able to draft another corner? Let's say Slade is retired after this year. Who do you have? Who do you have? Cooper DeJean, I think, will replace Maddox. Now he will be your nickel corner. Why not go get Greg Newsome? Right? You add Greg Newsome, you got Mitchell on Slade's side. Then you have Greg Newsome on the other side. Then you have Quinn. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? Would be a fucking dude. If the Eagles did that, you would have your two corners for the future down the road for years. Greg Newsome is 24. And my thing is, why would the Browns give up on him? Didn't you just draft him? Then you just get rid of what's that cornerback's name that we picked up? Oh my God, the horrible free agent pickup. Greedy Williams. Didn't they just draft this guy? If I'm going to go, the two, listen, if Greg Newsome's available, then I wonder if Denzel Ward's available. If that's what they're going to do, then I could see Denzel Ward being available too, right? How is Denzel Ward? If Denzel Ward is available, is Denzel Ward available too? Like, is the Browns having a sale? Denzel Ward is 27. Greg Newsome would be 24. I wouldn't mind a Greg Newsome. I really wouldn't. That would be a move I could see the Eagles making for. Don't just keep your eye on that one. Greg Newsome would be a sneaky move by Howard Roseman. You know, people say, well, we don't need a corner. You're going to need one next year, right? If Slay is out, you put Quinyon Mitchell in that situation, right? He probably will be your number one corner, right? Who's your number two? Who? Ringo? I like Ringo, but I don't think he's a starter. Greg Newsome is a starter. And if you can get him, now the thing is, he's on his last year of his deal. So, I mean, would the Eagles pay him? But this is where it goes back to the Eagles love guys on their last year of their deal. If he's on his last year of deal, he's not going to cost that much. I think the Eagles would pounce on that. I really do. I could see the Eagles making a move for that. I think they could switch a Slay, and I like Slay, but I could see Slay in the – some reason I see Slay in the Browns uniform. I just do. And I see Greg Newsome in the Eagles uniform. It makes sense because both of them on their last year of the deal. And why not get something for Slay and get a young premier corner in your building and let him grow with Mitchell for years to come? Why not? Right? But you never know. But that's just I mean, the Commanders, they talk about the Commanders need a corner. Man, the Commanders need more than just a corner, bro. They don't need a corner. I can see the Giants making a move for Greg Newsome too, because they're going to need they need another corner other than Banks. You know, they might trade for Greg Newsome. I can see the Giants doing that. Why do I see that? Because other than Banks, who do they have? That's one of the weaknesses. If they don't have another corner on the opposite side, and Greg Newsome would be a perfect situation for the Giants, honestly. But now, I mean, do they go after him? Probably not now. But I could see that they were winning. The Browns got some of our old players. Yeah, I mean, why not bring Slay? I mean, Jim Schwartz. Did Jim Schwartz know him? I don't know. I don't think Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz brought him in. Just saying. Slay. We brought Slay in when Jim Schwartz was a defensive coordinator, right? That was. Woo. Just saying. It makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but would Howie Roseman do that? Would Howie Roseman switch Greg Newsome and do a player swap? Get Greg Newsome in here and extend him for what, maybe 2 years? That way you have Quinyon Mitchell, Greg Newsome, you have Cooper DeJean. Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, bro. Hey, listen, you would have a young secondary for years to come, man. Why not do it? Greg Newsom would be an interesting topic, man. I wouldn't mind that. It would not be what the Eagle fans would want because they're looking at Myles Garrett. But listen, it makes sense. Greg Newsom for Slay. Jim Schwartz knows Slay. I mean, didn't Slay get traded when Jim Schwartz was the defense coordinator? And I just in my head, I could see Slay in the Browns uniform. I could see that, right? And Slay's on his last year of his deal. And there's been talks before that the Eagles were going to look to move on from him, that they want to see what the young guys have. Well, I mean, if Howard Roseman wants to go out and get a young guy, why not go get Greg Newsom? 24 years old, on his last year of his deal. This is where Howard Roseman loves making moves at. Because listen, Myles Garrett's on a 2-year deal, and he's cost a lot of money. I don't think Greg Newsom's going to cost a lot of money, and I don't think he's going to cost a lot of draft picks again. And you would have Quinyon Mitchell and Greg Newsom for years. I would do it in a heartbeat, right? Greg Newsom on one side, Quinyon Mitchell on the other side. I'm just saying, I would do that, right? Because honestly, that would be a more realistic option than a Myles Garrett. If we're being real, a Greg Newsom, a cornerback, who's on his last year of his deal, that would be young piece for your team. For Slay, who I think would be reunited with Jim Schwartz, his former defense coordinator, who brought him in, right? That would make sense. I don't know, man. I mean, would you do it? I would definitely do that. Jim Schwartz drafted Slay. Just saying. Hey, just saying, man. Just tell me, am I not make? Does that not make sense? Does that not make sense? You know, Greg Newsom was also. Let me remind you, the Eagles were one of those teams that were interested in him with the prospects. Let me look it up, but I'm pretty sure the Eagles were one of those teams that were actually scouting him at that combine, right? Let me take a look. Greg Newsom. Like, let's see. And let me remind you also, who's the former GM over there? Joe Barry. Same. Like, could I see the Eagles doing that? I mean, I could. I could see Slay getting traded to the Browns. Jim Schwartz knows him. Jim Schwartz already drafted him. That was his guy. He was with Detroit with him. Why not bring him home? And where's Slay from? Where's Slay from? Where's Slay from? Where's Slay from? If he's from Cleveland, man, it makes sense. Wouldn't it be funny if he was from Ohio too? If Slay was born in Ohio, that would be funny. Let's see where he was born. Slay was born in. Oh, look, Slay had another podcast. Yay. Let's see. So he's from Georgia. Okay. Listen, it makes sense, man. Jim Schwartz got Jordan Hicks and Ronnie McLeod. I won't be surprised if he gets Slay. I'm not saying we would get Greg Newsome. I'm just throwing that out there. Greg Newsome would be more of a realistic option than Myles Garrett. Okay? That would be more realistic. If we would go after a player, it'd be Greg Newsome. Because I do think the Eagles are looking to get younger. And I do think if there's an opportunity where Howard Roseman could get a young premier corner at 24 years old to pair up with Mitchell for years to come, you do it. You pull that trigger. If I'm going to go out there farm for that, it would be him. Greg Newsome's a good corner. I mean, I would get him. That would be a guy that I would love to have. Greg Newsome would not be a bad move. The Eagle fans got to understand something. Howard Roseman, these are the trades that he makes. Is those last year of their deals. Slay's on his last year of his deal. So is Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome is a young 24-year-old corner that I think the Browns are going to get rid of because I don't know why. I mean, if Greg Newsome's on a trade block, is Denzel Ward on a trade block too? Like to me, why would the Browns get rid of Greg Newsome? There has to be something we don't know. Because that would be a little shocker right there, right? A 24-year-old you just drafted. I mean, we're not saying. I mean, is he not good? Is Greg Newsome not good? I think he's pretty good. Like Greg Newsome. Let me watch some of this shit. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. That would be more realistic option than Myles Garrett would be. Not saying it's gonna happen. I don't think it would happen. Hold on, let me turn the volume up. See, I mean, this why I can see how Rose been doing. I mean, this is the guy you would get. You would add him to with Quinyon Mitchell. Come on, man. We have the best secondary in the league. In the league. Ringo might be a cornerback too. Yeah, you think, but we don't get Newsom or any corner, then start Ringo. Yeah, but the thing about Ringo is, I don't trust him with speed receivers. Okay, because one thing about him is if he's good with big body receivers, but when it comes to speed receivers, he struggles with that. And I think I don't think I think he's more of a safety than a corner. I don't know about you, but do you think he's more of a safety? I would love to see him as a safety than a corner, if that makes any sense. Because I think Ringo would be a very good safety, and I think he would be a lot better at safety. Honestly, I mean, he plays more like a safety than a corner. I mean, that's my thing. I mean, Greg Newsome would be a sneaky secondary piece right there. I mean, is Myles Garrett a guy that the Eagles will like? I'm sure they would, but Greg Newsome is a lockdown corner. And you add him with Quinyon Mitchell, could you imagine? Yo, you're not throwing the ball on us again, man. I'm just being real with you. That would be a fucking savage move by Hal Roseman. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm off topic, but I think Greg Newsome would be a sneaky move, man. it would be a freaking sneaky move. It might not be what a move we might need, like a pass rusher. But you still could get a pass rusher. You still could, like, listen, Howard we could definitely make 2 moves. I can see that. I think we're gonna make multiple moves. I think we get rid of Bradbury. I think we get rid of Slay. And I can see Greg Newsome being in one of those deals where I think we make, because Howard makes at least 2 trades usually. He makes at least 2 trades. I could see a scenario where Slay gets traded to the Browns in a swap for Greg Newsome. And then the Eagles go out and get a Zadarius Smith for what, a 4th round pick? Maybe a 3rd rounder. And you would have a pass rush and a corner. And the reason why I say Greg Newsome is because no one's talking about him. Everybody talk about Myles Garrett. And they talk about Crosby. And they talk about these guys. And it's like, the guys that you're not thinking of are the ones that we usually get, right? So we gotta go outside the box, right? Greg Newsome is not a guy that we're thinking of, but maybe the Eagles are thinking of, right? Maybe the Eagles are thinking, you know what? Our defense is just as good. We don't need a Myles Garrett. What if we go out and get Greg Newsome, and we think not only this year, but long term? Now the thing is, he's on the last year of his deal. And that's why I say Greg Newsome would make so much sense for the Eagles. This would be a Howard Roseman move. Guys on their last year of the deal. And you know what? If it's a pick that he wants, that he can get, if he let the guy walk, he's going to do it. I mean, how many times have we got guys on their last year of the deal? Let's think about it. Would you let Reed walk next year? Yes, only because of Sidney Brown. I think Sidney Brown and C.J. Gardner-Johnson are your futures down the road. Right, unless you get rid of, unless CJ goes down, he can't play anymore. But Reed Blankenship is on a 1 year. He's a free agent this year. He's walking. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. They're not resigning him. Sidney Brown and CJ are your futures. You know what I'm saying? And Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are your pieces down the road for years. Quinyon Mitchell will be your number 1 corner when Slade leaves. Cooper DeJean will be your nickel corner. Your slot corner when Max is gone next year. Max is gone. He's not coming back. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we trade him in the trade deadline too. Don't be surprised if the Eagles do it. I think the Eagles will be buyers and sellers. I think Slay's on the trade block, and I don't think he knows it, but I think he's on the trade block. And that's why I say I think Jim Schwartz, when you look at it, could make a big decision where he say, you know what, maybe I want Slay on my team. Maybe Greg Newsome don't fit his scheme. And, maybe he thinks Slay could fit his team. And I think Slay would be a guy that Jim Schwartz would like to have. Jim Schwartz drafted this guy in Detroit. Jim Schwartz has familiarities with him. Jim Schwartz brought him to Philadelphia. Jim Schwartz has Ryan McLeod. Jim Schwartz has Jordan Hicks. Just saying. Jim Schwartz is a guy that is known Slay. And if you want to be real, Slay had his best year under Jim Schwartz with the Lions. Really, if you want to be real. He had his best year under Jim Schwartz with the Lions. So, Slay to the Browns is not a far-fetch. It's really not. Right? And there's been rumors, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's been rumors that the Eagles are looking to move on from Slay. And he could be a potential trade in the trade deadline. And if I'm going to get rid of Slay, I'm going to get a cornerback. Why not go get Greg Newsome? Right? You switch him out. Right? Get a young corner. And now you have Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean in your slot. And then you would have Greg Newsome on the other side of you. That would probably be your number 2. Just saying. And then you would have your C.J. Gardner-Johnson and your Sidney Brown. That would be a secondary that no one would want to face for years. That would be a freaking nightmare to stop. I'm not stop. To freaking game plan for. How are you going to throw on that team? Greg Newsome is a shutdown corner already. And then you have Quinyon Mitchell, and you got Cooper DeJean, and you got Sidney Brown and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Just saying. Just don't be surprised. Like we think of Myles Garrett, but that's not who I think the Eagles would obviously target. If I think the Eagles would target someone, it would be a guy like on last year's deal. And you know, if the Browns are interested in trying to get rid of him, well, who knows him more than the Eagles do? Who's the GM for the Browns? Joe Barry. Now, is it Joe Barry? No, not Joe Barry. Who's the GM? Is it Barry something? Barry something, right? He was with the Eagles, right? Just saying. Maybe it's just a scheme fit. Does Fangio think Slay is a good fit for him? I'm just saying. You got to look at context, man. I like Sidney Brown. I like Sidney Brown better. Yeah, Sidney Brown's your future, man. Reed Blankenship is gone. He's not coming back here this year. All right, this is his last year of playing. He's gonna get a lot of money next year. I guarantee someone will pay him a lot of money next year. All right. You know, he's going to walk a free agent. He's going to get what Marcus Epps got with the Raiders or something like that. You know, Vontae Max can't stop. No, I would try to trade him, honestly, because I think Max sucks. And if I could get a pick back from him, so fucking be it. Cooper DeJean clearly is 10 times better than him. We could have a dangerous secondary. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean, and Greg Newsome on the other side. Just saying, like this is how I look at it, right? Because honestly, right, if the Eagles are looking to get younger, and if you're going to move on from Slay, then I need a cornerback from him, right? I'm not going to get rid of Slay if it means get rid of him for nothing. No, if I'm going to get a guy back from him, I might as well get a Greg Newsome for him, right? Now, will the Browns do it? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. I think it's not possible. I mean, I don't think it's far-fetched. If a guy that I could see the Browns going for would be a Slay. Why do you say that? Because Jim Schwartz knows him. And Jim Schwartz got the best out of him in Detroit. And I'm not saying, do I think the Eagles would trade Slay? Honestly, no. But if those are the rumors that we heard, where they're going to move on Slay, and if you're going to do that, give me a Greg Newsome. Give me a 24-year-old that's going to be here years to come. You would have him and Mitchell for years. They'd be growing together. And you would have two young corners on both of your side of your defense. Cooper DeJean in your nickel. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson as your safety one. And Sidney Brown as your number two. And Reed Blankenship as your backup into he leaves next year. And you still would have a pretty good secondary. Come on, man. Come on, dude. That would be a fucking nightmare to try to throw on. Right? If Howard Roseman pulls that off, I will freaking go crazy in happiness. Like people talk about, well, we don't need a corner. Yes, you do. Do you think Slay's playing for 3 more years? I hope not. Like Slay is getting injured. Look how many times he's gotten injured. Why not go out and get a guy for him? And why not go get another corner for him? Right? Get a corner. Right? It's not far-fetched. It's not. Honestly, because other than Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, who do you have? Ringo, I think Ringo is a dead piece. I don't think he's a starter per se. Not saying he can't be, but I don't think he's ready yet. I think he's good on special teams. But if you get Greg Newsome, you have Mitchell and Cooper DeJean as your secondary piece, your secondary is nasty, man. And I don't see how they can throw the ball on y'all. I just don't. I mean, who are you going to test? You got Quinyon Mitchell on the number 1 side, Greg Newsome on the number 2, Cooper DeJean in the nickel. I mean, or in the slot where Max would be playing, right? And then you would have Sidney Brown and C.J. Gardner-Johnson as your safeties. That's a pretty good secondary, if you ask me. Now, I don't know what the Eagles would do, but I think it would be more realistic than Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett has 2 years on his deal, and he has a big contract. I don't see the Browns doing that and giving up for what? Maybe peanuts? I think you could get Greg Newsome for like a 2nd-round pick. I really do. And I think the way Howard Roseman works, a guy on his last year of his deal is a guy that he's going to make a move for, right? And if you're Howard Roseman, why not go get something for Slay? Slay is. Are you going to let him walk for no reason? Are you going to let him just retire for nothing? I mean, if I'm Howard Roseman, I'd get something for him. I like Slay, but honestly, you need to look at for this year and long term. If Greg Newsome is on the trade block, go get him. Go fucking get him. And why do you say that? Because I want him on the opposite side of Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Well, he's on his last year deal. You have to pay him. So what? I'll figure that down that road. Right now, I'm looking at you are a young secondary, man. Go capitalize. Go do it. If Greg Newsome is, let's say the Browns are trying to trade Greg Newsome, I hope the hell Howard Roseman is making a call, or at least checking in. Yo, I'll throw in Bradbury, a Slay, a second-round pick. Maybe not even a second-round pick. I might throw Bradbury and Slay in the mix. Which one you want? You want Bradbury or Slay? I'll take Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome is a shutdown corner. I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, why would the Browns get rid of Greg Newsome? There has to be something with that situation. Is it an attitude problem? Is it because it's the scheme? What is it? You know? But listen, Jim Schwartz knows Slay. I mean, that would be a great matchup for him, honestly. Slay was drafted by Jim Schwartz with the Lions, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think he was drafted by the Lions with Jim Schwartz. Just saying. Quinyon Newsome would be a danger duel, man. Could you imagine that? Could you fucking imagine that? Hey, man. Hey, I'm just throwing that out there, right? Because we talk about Myles Garrett, but these are the guys that we're not talking about is a guy like Greg Newsome, right? Another guy that I could see the Eagles making for, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we're not talking about would be a guy like what's another guy that's on his last year to do? You mean there's so many other guys that we're only talking about two players, but that's not the only guy that I can see the Eagles making a move for. Myles Garrett and Crosby are unrealistic, to be honest, because of their contracts. And you have to give up a lot for it. Where I think Greg Newsome would probably be an early second rounder at best, right? Because he's on his last year of his deal and the Browns are not going to pay him, right? Because I think the Browns are going to look to tank. But like I said, are they willing to ship Denzel Ward? I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. But I'm just looking at, I'm not just looking at this year. Like, everybody talk about Myles Garrett. Yeah, that's for this year. I'm looking at long term, right? And when you look at your corners, you saw what we were without Slay when we didn't trade for him. Look how bad our secondary was, right? And yes, we got Quinyon Mitchell. But other than that, who you have on the other side? Is Ringo going to be the guy? Maybe. But how much do you think he's going to be the guy? Are you going to take a chance on him to be that guy? I mean, if I could get like I said, Newsome and a Quinyon Mitchell for my secondary years to come with Cooper DeJean in the slot or in the nickel, and you got Cindy and CJ as your safeties, and you got Nakobe Dean as your linebacker with Jeremiah Try Jr., you do it. That's a fucking secondary that no one wants to see. Why not do it? What would it cost to get Greg Newsome in Philadelphia? I would want to know. That's a guy that I've been seeing a lot of rumors about, Greg Newsome being moved. And they talk about the Commanders, but the Commanders right now, I don't think corner is their biggest need. All right. Corner is not their biggest need. Right? They got corners. They got so much secondary on their pieces. Why would they go out and get Greg Newsome? Why? To do what? They think they're going to stop A.J. Brown? Is that what they think they're going to do? Come on, man. No, you stop. They're going to waste a lot of money on that one. Uh-oh. So Buccaneers star wide receiver Chris Godwin's being carted off. Uh-oh. That's bad. Prayers up to him. I haven't watched the game. We'll see what happens though. Miles gets almost started, and if we pay him, we might be another bribery situation. Yeah, then that's why I say, go give me Greg Newsom. I mean, Miles Garrett's not getting traded, bro. I think Greg Newsom will be more of a trade realistic than the Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett's not getting traded, bro. It would cost a lot to get Miles Garrett. The Browns are not moving on from Miles Garrett. Okay. Now, unless someone gives up a lot for it. But I don't see. I just don't see it. I mean, we'll see though. We'll see. I'm just throwing ideas. I'm not saying they're going to get Greg Newsom. I'm just saying that would be a freaking scary secondary to add Greg Newsom to your secondary. Why not do it? I mean, Quinion Mitchell and Greg Newsom would be a nasty combo. I'm just saying. But we'll see what happens though. God, I can't wait to play fucking Commanders. Dude, they're so fucking overrated. It's not even fucking funny. They're so overrated. I can't wait to shut that fucking fan base up, man. Big time. I can't wait. I think they're overrated, so.
We got Shiesty Daniels. The point is, Jaden Daniels is still doing good. He won another Rookie of the Week. Now, I know it's fan voted. I don't think Bears fans know that. First of all, Bears fans, we love Jaden Daniels in DC. You guys talk about him more, though. I don't know how to help you. Like, enjoy Caleb Williams. He's playing well. Like, you have countless tweets like this, giving stats and being like, make it make sense. What's up, guys? It's Mike from DC Experience, another one of these videos. Yes. What's up, guys? It's Mike from DC.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh,
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
In this Charger pass game, Herbert.
Oh, man. This was. Damn. It is what it is, man. Commanders got a cupcake schedule. Yeah, bro, they're wait till we play them. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna remind them who they are. Jaden Daniels is going to look like a different quarterback once he plays a road team. Don't worry. I am so sick of Commander fans, man. They get on my nerves sometimes. They really do. It's like, bro, like we get it. You got a quarterback, hopefully. But it's like wait until teams adjust him. We'll find out what he really is. It is what it is, man. Wait until they play a road team. Yeah, wait until they play us. Don't worry. When we play the Commanders, they'll go back to being the Commanders. Don't worry. Just like the Giants, they were hyping themselves up. Because and then we remind them. We're gonna remind the Commanders too who they are. Dude, I'm so sick of their fucking fan base, man. They over there hyping their GM up. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like all right, cool. We know you're rebuilding. We know that. We get it. We get it. You're gonna be a third for years. That's cool. But let's remind you who owns you. Us. We own you. And we own the Giants. And we're gonna own you again. Jaden Daniels is a rookie. He's not beating the Eagles. I'm telling you he's not. We're sweeping the Commanders this year. I mean, the fact that they think they won a division is laughable. It's like there's so much football left to be played, and you already think you're selling in the driver's seat? Okay. All right. Boy, they're cocky for a team that fucking hasn't been in the playoffs since, what, Chase Young? Been the rookie? It's crazy. The Rams have received some interest requests from wide receiver Cooper Cup. Yeah, I don't think they're going to deal with them. It is what it is, man. They beat the Panthers, the Browns, the Giants. Yeah, bro. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, James Daniels is a good quarterback. I'm not taking that away from him, but he got to show me. That's all I gotta say. He got to shut me up. That's all. If he shuts me up, I got nothing to say to him. I just the Commanders don't fear me, man. They don't. It is what it is, though. One game at a time. We'll play them eventually. When we do, we'll see what they are. Wow. Most teams have made trade inquiries for Rainbow. I've seen Cooper Cup. Okay. Would the Rams do it though? I don't think they would. I mean, come on, man. That's atrocious, bro. That's just a bad throw. Look at this throw. That's just a fucking terrible throw, man. I mean, come on. Andy Dalton sinks. Andy Dalton. I mean, you beat Andy fucking Dalton, man. Give me a fucking break. What kind of goofy pick is this, man? That is one of the worst picks I've ever seen in my lifetime. Hold up. Hold up. Let me show you again. They bragging about this, man. Look at this. Look at this. Come on, man. Andy Dalton sucks, bro. Give me a break. Y'all beat Andy Dalton, man. I'm so fucking happy. Wow. Yeah, they're bragging about being trash teams, and the thing is, they lost to a good team like the Ravens. Like, it's like, bro, like y'all beat cupcakes teams, and it's cool. Wait until we play them. I'm telling you right now, when we play them, we're gonna beat them back in reality quickly. Because I'm tired of hearing this James Daniels hype, man. It's annoying, bro. It really gets on my nerves, dude. Because he really, really, really has not played a defense like ours, and I cannot wait to shut him up. But we got the Bengals, and we're going to take care of business. And when we play James Daniels, we'll play him. You know, watch. I'll tell you right now, the Commanders will fall off the cliff sooner or later, man. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They don't scare me. You got the Commanders about Greg Newsom, man. Y'all need more than just a Greg Newsom. Get out of here. Uh, I don't. They don't scare me out. No, they don't. They don't scare me at all. They don't. They remind me of. They remind me of the Giants in 2022. They beat all these bad teams, and then reality hits real quick. Don't let them fool you, man. Just don't. Don't let them fool you. Yo, Quinion Mitch is a fucking beast. I'm watching him just slam a dude, man. Oh my god, this guy's a fucking monster. I can't really see that. Hold on. What is it? See that real quick. Um, I just looked at the commander schedule. It looks pretty easy. John's had a fluke year in 2020. Yeah, well, that's the commanders, man. Don't come on, bro. Don't let them fool you, bro. We'll beat the commanders. I'm not worried about them. But anyway, man, it is what it is. The boy Easton won. I got to get out of here. I got to get work. I got work at 8 a.m., 1 p.m. tomorrow. You have a great day. Flag is fly. As always, peace. We're going to talk soon.